Hello, hello. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Shay, I don't know why I did that either. I noticed that on Thursday that it had changed the screen names. I had noticed that, and where it says like the at now, I didn't change anything, but yeah, it started doing that on Thursday, or at least I noticed it on Thursday. I'm doing good, Shay. How about yourself? Yeah, I have no idea. I don't know why it started doing that. Denzel, my mental health is well. My stomach health is not. Pretty sure I had some bad sushi last night. So my stomach life is not great today. My mental is fine. Physical, I'm not too sure. I thought there was no sound. It was Bluetooth to my car. I've seen that. I've done that. I've done that. Like I've like started the car like it's cold or whatever, like in the winter, and started the car, and then like came back inside and like got a phone call. I'm like, why can't I hear anyone? Well, what's going on, Ogden, VJ, Luca? What's everybody doing today? Chester, I see you over there. Hi, Megan. What's going on, Alan? Hi, Megan. Megan wanted me to let you know that she's first. Okay. Somebody needs attention this morning. Hi, Megan. How you doing? Hope you're having a good morning. Thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate that. Hi, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Denzel, you ask me about my mental health every time I'm live. I didn't. That's why I was like, when you were like, I'm new here. I'm like, well, no, you're not. What are you talking about, bro? You ask me about my mental health every live. No, it's a good thing. I think we need to normalize asking people about their mental health. So I think it's a great thing. I actually really appreciate it. Hello, Caitlin. How are you? Yeah, I don't know why it started doing this whole screen names thing. Let's see. I wonder if I can. I don't think I can affect that because I never did it before. No, and you know what the worst part about the sushi situation is like, well, there's a couple things. So I was really excited about this sushi place, and I told Ari, I was like, dude, we're going like I'm driving past 7 sushi restaurants to get to this sushi restaurant because I've been wanting to try it. And so we drove out there. It was a lot further away. Passing sushi restaurants that I know are good. And we get out there, and like I ordered this, like it was like a sashimi salad. And I was like, this doesn't taste right. Like I took a bite. I was like, it doesn't taste right. I was like, maybe it's just me. I took a second one. I'm like, I don't think this is good. Like, and so I just kind of like push it to the side. And so I waited for my roll to come out. And ate my roll. And like I took a bite, and I was like, it doesn't taste right. I took a second bite because I was like, maybe it's just me, because I thought it was just like the eel sauce didn't taste right. The third one I had to spit out. I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like I was like, this is horrific. And yeah, I've been sick since then. So not fun. Not fun at all. So I think they like I paid for a part of it. They like discounted it or something. I don't know. It's dumb. Whatever. I was just so happy to get out of there. Yeah, I think personally I think the fish sauce was bad or something. I'm not really sure. But yeah, I gotta figure out what's going on. By the way, I may or may not be a little late on tomorrow. Thanks again for that, Megan. I really appreciate that super chat. Appreciate that super chat. I may or may not be on tomorrow, and I may or may not be on late tomorrow. Did Megan get or did Ari get sick too? No, she seems to be fine. Like apparently whatever she had was fine. It was just whatever I had. Summer's a little wound up this morning. No, and Rox has nothing to do with football. You guys normally know I get on at 10 a.m. Football doesn't start till noon, and usually I'll run even a little late as long as the Chargers aren't playing early. I'm going out tonight. I had a friend of mine hit me up and was like, hey, like, she'd been going through some shit, and she's like, oh, shoot. And she's like, I need to go out on Saturday night. And so she invited me out. So depending on how much of a night it is, will depend on how bad of a day tomorrow is, which is going to depend on what happens when I wake up tomorrow. Yeah. So depending on how many adult beverages I have, okay, tonight, if I'm even able to go, that's the even bigger problem. I got to make sure I'm able to go. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Bro, I made a video yesterday with this dude that's TikTok is blowing up with these guys that are talking about how Bad Bunny is going to get arrested at the halftime show by ICE. Like, are Americans really that stupid? This is a wild world we live in. No joke. They are losing their mind saying, like, I just saw another video of some Trump supporter being like, Bad Bunny's going to get tackled by ICE off the stage and get detained and deported. I made a video about it. I made one yesterday, and I just saw another video of some other guy doing it. Where are you going to deport him to? Where are you going? He's Puerto Rican. Which makes him a U.S. citizen. Or does MAGA just think that every brown person that speaks Spanish they see is an undocumented immigrant? Kayun, thank you so much for becoming a member. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Also, I did see you. I saw that you joined the Discord too. So make sure that you put another ticket in so I don't forget, and we'll add the member stuff to your Discord at a member role. Thank you so much for that. I really, really appreciate it.
It's insane.
Yeah, it's just it's a wild. It's wild how. I'm just saying. I guess it really does show. You know how bad the U.S. education system is. That people for real think that Bad Bunny is about to get detained and freaking deported to America. It's just so stupid, man. I can't even believe I'm saying this shit. Oh my goodness. Kayun, newest member, says, morning. Sorry, I won't be able to watch the live today, but I love your stuff. Can't wait to watch you through later. Love your laugh and your vibe. That reminds me, Kayun, thank you so much for letting me remind people. If you do ever miss my lives, they are all automatically recorded and put onto YouTube so you can go and watch them back later. Or if you have to leave during the middle of a live and you want to come back and finish it off, it's all there. You can go back and watch it in both landscape and portrait mode. You can watch them both. So just to let you know, if you ever have to miss it, you can catch back up. Really, really awesome. That way you're here for all the inside jokes. And when I start making Dunkin' Donuts jokes, you understand what I'm talking about. Thank you so much, Kayun. But Andrew, even bigger for the big W's for actually the first super chat. I had just skipped over for a second to talk to Kayun because I knew they were leaving. It says, please remember your constitutional rights and check out app statutes. Are you talking about like apps on your phone? Like the statutes that guides apps? I didn't know there was a constitutional right to that. Or maybe you're telling me something and I don't understand it, which is also totally possible. A big W's in chat for Andrew and Kayun for the super chats to start this morning out. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And Megan said, I would be a YouTube member, but I cannot be labeled a poly groupie. Well, first of all, that's an awesome name, so I don't know why you would hate on that. But there's also poly obsessed, which you can also become. Okay? Because there's two different labels there. So you do have choices, actually, Megan. You know you want to come join the club. You know you want to. L's in the chat for Megan. All right. L's in the chat for Megan. But speaking of poly groupies, welcome to the team, One Pixie. How are you doing? What's going on this morning? Good morning to you. Thank you so much for becoming a part of the team. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Pixie. I really appreciate it. I believe you're already in the Discord too, so make sure you also put a ticket in so I can add the role to you, because I don't think you have that yet either. Megan's cracking me up this morning. Megan's on one this morning. All right, y'all. We're just coming in. We're just starting this thing out. We're just funneling in and starting to get this thing moving. So I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. We're about to start taking some guests, start having some fun in here. So I really, really appreciate y'all on this beautiful Saturday morning. If you still support Trump, there is a couple ways that you can come up and have a conversation with me. One is to join the multi-guest request button. That's in the TikTok side. The other way is to the phone lines. If you're on, the app that doesn't have the multi-guest request button. Stuff like that. So we're gonna get to some conversations. We're gonna get to some banter. We're gonna get to maybe a tiny little bit of debate, just a tiny little bit. We don't do too much of that here. But we're about to open this thing up, open up the phone lines, open up the guest request box, and get this thing going. So I really appreciate y'all. If you guys would like to support the live, as we've been very in depth talking about, you can become a member over on YouTube or a super fan on TikTok. That is a great way to get to be a part of the team, be a member, and show your support for the live. I also have my live gift goal. I also have super chats open. I love to talk about those in between guests, put them up on the screen, have like I did with Megan's right here. We put them on the screen and we talk about them. So that's always great. And yeah, I also have Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. They're all at Polypolitics, just like my name. So if you would like to support through the pay links, that's also really great, and I really appreciate that also. But more importantly than any of that, make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications if you've already hit that subscribe button if you're on the YouTubes. And that way you'll know when I post new content, when I post new videos, when I go live, when I set up for lives. You'll know all of that stuff so you never miss a beat, which is really important. So thank you guys so much for being here. Please come in. As you guys are coming in, there's like 400 people in this live and about 200 and something on that one. So we're still just building up, which is great. But make sure you guys come in and leave a chat. Say hi. Say good morning to everyone. It does help to push the live out when the algorithms see that people are engaged and happy in the live. So I really appreciate that. Andrew, I think Andrew was putting some clarification on that super chat. He said, controversial speech is accepted speech under the First Amendment. Does that do not support Trump can say whatever the fuck they want? Yes. Controversial speech is protected under the First Amendment, as long as it's not inciting violence. And so, yeah, you are allowed to do that 100%. This is why, if you actually hear Donald Trump speak, this is why he's trying to say that certain things are violent. He's trying to say things like, oh, people calling someone a fascist is violent. No, it's not. It's an adjective. But that's not violent. But he's trying to phrase it that way because he's trying to take away your First Amendment right. He's trying to compare somebody calling someone a fascist to yelling fire in a movie theater. He's trying to compare that. But it doesn't make much sense. But that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to put those two things together so that he can make it illegal, so that he can take away your free speech. In case you're wondering, whenever you hear him say that, that's why he says it. So, just thought I'd let you know. So next time you hear that stuff, that's what he's talking about. All right. So thank you so much, Andrew. I really do appreciate that. Thank you so much. All right, let's open up the phone lines. Let's get this thing going and get this thing started. And yeah, we'll help you guys have a good morning. Hello, how are you this morning?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. How old are you?
I'm 22.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
I do.
So what do you feel about his blatant attack on the First Amendment?
So so that's what I was calling in about. I was just listening to you talk about that. I don't really think it's like a taking away the First Amendment type thing where it's not, because you were equating it to like calling out fire in a movie theater, right?
I'm not equating it to that. Donald Trump is.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. That was just the way you said it, and I've only heard that from you, so my bad.
Yeah, let me clarify just so you know what I'm saying. Donald Trump is saying, okay, like, and Stephen Miller has backed it up, and other people within his administration have backed it up, pretty much saying that we have to, like Pam Bondi came out and said, we have to stop hate speech, all right? And we are going to make hate speech a crime, right?
I don't really think hate speech is a real thing. Hate speech is just, you can't really, if you want to have free speech, you can't really have hate speech. People can say whatever they want. You kind of just got to deal with it type of thing.
I agree. Donald Trump's attorney general doesn't.
That's what I agree with. Like, I'm not like full blown conservative. I consider myself a little more moderate these days, but I do still lean more towards the right than the left.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is Donald Trump is going out of his way to make sure that he says, "Oh, if you say things about like that we don't, that you don't, if you say things that we don't like about us, right? Then we're going to cause that. We're going to say that is inciting violence, and so we can make it illegal." That's the
Well, that's
issue
what.
I have. Okay, like I'll tell you right now, like the whole thing with Charlie Kirk. I don't like what Charlie Kirk said at all. I think he was very hateful. I think he said a bunch of very racist things, and I think that was bad. But under our First Amendment laws, he does have the right to say that, right? He does have the right to
Yeah.
say those things, and he definitely should not have been assassinated for saying those things, right?
And I actually appreciate that you consider an assassination. I think that it's,
Well, I mean,
you
an
see that
assassination
he
is
was
just
actually
a targeted political attack, which that was, right?
exactly.
When it comes
Well,
to that, I
there's
mean,
some people that say that it's not at all because he doesn't deserve that title or whatever.
an assassination is just a term. People don't deserve it or not deserve it.
Well, that's just what I've heard.
Okay.
Some people just trying to. I'm trying to think of the word, not defame, but pretty much talk down to him about him, saying that he doesn't even deserve that as an assassination. He just got killed.
Okay, well, I don't know who you're talking about or who the heck is saying that, because that's a ridiculous statement, and whoever says that doesn't know what English words mean. Okay, so that's fine. Let's not worry about that. Okay, but what I'm saying is that Donald Trump is attacking the First Amendment, and that's not the only way that he's attacking the First Amendment. A federal judge, a Donald Trump appointed federal judge, just said he violated the Second Amendment, and that's the second time that a federal judge has said he was in violation of the Second Amendment just this year. Or sorry, of the First Amendment. Did I say the First Amendment or Second Amendment? I meant First Amendment. What's up?
I got a little confused when you said that. When you said Second Amendment,
That was my fault. I meant
But now
second time he was found in violation of the First Amendment. That was misspeak on mine.
I see what you mean now.
Yeah. So Donald Trump is
No,
trying to
that's
break the First Amendment whenever he can. He got found to be breaking the First Amendment when it came to AP News. Now he's found to be breaking the First Amendment when it came to trying to take visas away from dudes on or people on student visas, right, for acting on their free speech. He's talked about trying to ban burning the flag, which is a protected right under free speech, right?
That's what I think that. While I don't agree with burning flags, I think it is protected speech either way. I agree with that. But
Sure. I agree also. What I'm saying is you're the one that's supporting the president that's attacking these things. It sounds like you agree with me, but you're supporting him. That part doesn't make much sense.
Well, no, that's what I'm about to give you my point real quick. So obviously you can say that calling people whatever is your First Amendment right, but when you have like the news and the media calling you it, and now since like say you were being called this and that by the news, and it caused people that wanted to come and kill you, that would kind of be their fault for posting all this shit and saying it over and over. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to swear, but saying all this over and over again about you, and that changes the way people think about you.
Okay,
to
so
the point where they want to kill you.
Well, that you make a valid point. Okay, you make a valid point that if something is repeated over and over about someone, that it could incite violence. Is that's pretty much what you're saying?
Yes. That's what I'm
so
not
like
saying,
when Donald Trump calls all people on the left part of a domestic terrorist group. Okay, when he calls them radical left loonies, they're trying to take away your country and take away your rights, which causes incredibly violent acts like the killing of Melissa Hortman and her husband in their house, the assault with a hammer on Nancy Pelosi's husband, with the burning down of Josh Shapiro's house. When Donald Trump says those things about people on the left, that does actually incite violence against people. Or how about on January 6th, when Donald Trump told them that they're taking their country away from you, they're stealing your election, and they're trying to take away your election rights, which incited people to go to the Capitol with a gallows to attempt to hang the vice president, which assaulted over 140 police officers.
I don't think they actually attempted to hang anybody there.
They brought a gallows with Mike Pence's name on it.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Okay. See, that might be considered a little bit of a threat towards a public official. If you get to that point, that should be an arrestable offense, should it not?
It was. Then Donald Trump pardoned them.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah, it was an arrestable offense. right? Because you can't A, storm the Capitol. You can't B, start a violent mob that attacks police officers. That's also illegal. You also can't bust into the Capitol trying to get to people that are trying to, certify an election. That's also illegal. And all these people did this with weapons and guns and violence all across the board. And then Donald Trump got into office and then pardoned all of those people.
I see.
Yeah. So you're right. Inciting violence is a problem, but the problem is that the news agencies aren't the biggest ones doing that. Donald Trump is, and he has the biggest microphone.
Okay. That's what I guess I'll have to look into a little bit more of, like, things that have been said and, stuff like that. I was scrolling through, and I listen to you from time to time. I'm not like a super fan, but I do like hearing what people have to say to you and what you got to say. And so that's what I heard you talking about, the fire and calling somebody a fascist and then screaming fire in a theater. And I was like, well, I'll give you my opinion.
Well, I was very glad to hear your opinion, and I appreciate you giving your opinion.
Yeah, and I always try and keep it, cordial. I hate when people come in and they just call you slurs or...
Oh, it's all good. Some people didn't have mothers that raised them right. But I am going to move on to the next caller. I really appreciate you, all right?
Yeah, no, you have a good one.
You too, man. By the way, Ogden, I saw you in here. Thank you so much for the $10 on PayPal you sent me last live. I missed it because I wasn't logged in yesterday, so I want to make sure I said that. And Marika, if you're in here, thank you so much for the $5 on PayPal you sent last live also. I do really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. We're going to move on to the next caller. Big W's in the chat for the last caller. That was a nice, good conversation to start up. Sorry. A great conversation to start off the live. So W's in that. Respectful conversation. Love to see it. This isn't a super chat. I just thought it was funny. Just a super freaker. Yeah. Sorry. That just popped in my head. So I want to put that up there. Thank you so much. Velvet. Thank you so much for the $20 super chat. I really, really appreciate that. Big W's in the chat for Velvet. Said, I find it funny how people think Trump is bringing in money with his dumb tariffs, but I live in Canada and we boycott most American products and almost all American liquor. You couldn't get Jack Daniels anywhere here in Canada. I mean, you guys have whiskey up there that's probably better than Jack Daniels. Actually, not even probably. I know it's better than Jack Daniels. It probably didn't hurt you too much to get rid of Jack Daniels. Jack Daniels is like mid as fuck, dude. Like, you guys are probably happy it's off the shelves. Stop, that way you don't have to look at it as much. Thank you so much, Velvet. I really, really appreciate that super chat. Thank you so much. Yeah, Jack Daniels is pretty mid. All right, phone lines are open back up. Let's keep this thing going. Yeah, Jack Daniels is mid as hell, bro. Not saying there aren't some very, very good bourbons in the United States. There are. There's some very, very good bourbons, which I'm sure you're missing out on. But Jack Daniels, that stuff can go. Too sweet for me. Way too sweet for me. Way too sweet. I mean, hey, but teach their own. If you're a Jack fan, that's fine. But not my style. Hello, how are you?
Hello, this is Justin Stotts from Rahway, New Jersey.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. How old are you?
I'm 18.
What year were you born?
2007, February 4th.
All right. Whoa. All right. All that. Anyways, do you still support Trump?
I don't, but can I ask a piece of advice before I get dropped?
All right, sure. What advice would you like?
So I'm in like an area where I have like a bunch of friends who continue to support him, use slurs, all that kind of good jazz, and even their parents. I don't know, everybody around me, but I can't leave the area because it's basically my job. And I don't want to like say something too much and then they get all heated and maybe tell the boss or whatever. But like sometimes it does bother me when we're just like out at a restaurant and maybe the waiter or waitress is transgender or something, and I don't know, they have something to say. What do you think I should do about stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, my personal opinion is, first of all, of course, you have to work. So, and you're going to end up working with people your whole life that you don't like and that, that do shitty things. All right. But if something bothers you and as far as like your friends and like the people around you, if something bothers you and they can't respect you enough to not say and do things that are going to bother you like that, then they're not very good people. You know what I'm saying? And maybe as far as a work setting, maybe there's not much you can do. As far as your friends, you can definitely do something. You can tell them, hey, this is something that I don't like, to something I don't respect, and I would appreciate if you didn't use that type of terminology around me, right? And to be able to draw a line for your own self-respect, right? Like that's more of what it is. It's just for your own self-respect. If my friends are around me saying so, well, first of all, I don't cohort with people that would say stuff like that, right? But if somebody does say something that, that's way out of whack, I have no problem being like, hey, yo, that ain't cool, and I don't like that type of stuff, right? But again, work is a different thing too, right? There, you might not be able to control what everybody says at work, and we all got to eat and make money and stuff like that. So your tolerance level might have to be a lot higher for the people that you work around and the people that you cohort with out work, right? But it's about having respect for yourself. It's about having boundaries. It's about about knowing what you deserve, right? And everybody deserves a certain level of respect, right?
All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah, man, I hope that helped.
Okay.
I know that these things, like, no matter what I tell you, putting them into practice is a lot harder than just
Right.
than words. Okay. But I think everybody knows their limit, and everybody knows, like, what they're willing to put up with personally. And like I said, like I don't tolerate disrespect for myself, and I would feel very disrespected if somebody was just ignoring me like that. But that's me personally. But hey, that takes a lot of age too to be that strong in your convictions to really put like big lines down in front of people. And I know that because when I was 18, I probably wouldn't have done the same. I wouldn't have acted now. I wouldn't have acted back then how I act now. That comes with age and learning what you're worth. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And I also think, like, I'm not really gonna cancel them because, like, I really don't think they understand, because since we're only so young, and like it's always surrounded in, like, I'll say, workplace that I'm in.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
the type of language and stuff.
Well, again, sir, I'm not telling you to cancel them. I'm just telling you to let them know how you're feeling.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Right. I'm just telling you,
Right.
hey, if the situation arises and it can occur, and you have the ability to do that without like getting fired, you know what I'm saying? And you feel strongly enough about it, pick your spots and just kind of jump in every once in a while. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be, you don't have to make it a whole thing.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I'm gonna continue to watch.
Absolutely, man. I hope you have a good one. All right.
You too.
Yeah, no, guys, I see you guys all in there just be like, oh, call them out. Oh, just yell. Oh, just do this. Oh, guys, it's not always that easy. That's great to say online. It's not. That's not always reality. In the real world, sometimes you got to pick your spots. Sometimes you got to be careful. Sometimes you got to make sure that you're not going to get fired over it, or lose your food around it. You at work, you got to deal with a certain level of stuff. It just happens, unfortunately. But good kid. I'm sure he'll figure out the way, right? Hello, how are you?
Hello, I'm doing good. Yourself?
I'm doing well. How old are you?
I'm 27. I was born on August 31st, 1998.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
I'm sorry?
Do you support Trump?
Pork chops, yeah.
Trump, do you support him?
Oh, I'm from Truth or Consequences, New Mexico.
We're going to move on to the next person. I don't know what the fuck that is. Hey, Liz, thank you so much for the €5. I appreciate that. It says you never know if people understand until you confront them. Jet ski. Thank you so much for the jet ski fun, hey, Liz. But it's very true. You never know how people are going to react until you confront them. The funny thing is I actually saw like his area code. He really was from that area. I know where Truth or Consequences is, funny enough. Hello. That's an actual real place, by the way. Hello. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How old are you?
I am 24 years old. How old are you?
I'm 38. Do you still support Trump?
I definitely support a lot of the policies that are being implemented.
Yeah, like his blatant attacks on the First Amendment, stuff like that.
blatant attacks on the First Amendment. No, like the big beautiful bill and the Medicaid changes, I agree with.
Oh, things like ripping healthcare away from people. Oh, okay, that's good.
Well, I wouldn't say it's necessarily ripping healthcare away. It's adding a lot more checks and requirements to it.
What checks and requirements?
Well, you have to be a citizen. That's the biggest one.
That was already a requirement. That was a
Yeah,
requirement
states
before the
weren't-
big beautiful bill.
States weren't following it though.
No, states were using their own tax dollars in order to help their own healthcare systems by making sure that
Yeah,
undocumented
one of the-
immigrants.
one of the big-
But hold
one
on,
of the
hold on,
biggest
no,
changes
don't cut me off.
Sorry,
Okay.
I know what you're saying. I
Yeah.
know what you're gonna say.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's
I'll
fine.
let
But
you
but not maybe not everybody else does. So I'm gonna finish my sentence. So yeah, the big beautiful bill didn't change that. States can still use their own funding to do what they want with it because states have sovereignty to a certain level. So the big beautiful bill didn't do any of that. Now go ahead.
Yeah, the issue is that the money that was being allocated for specifically Medicare was being used for that.
Incorrect.
It's just not true. So anyway, the penalties that people are talking about that states are not getting as much money for Medicaid or whatever, those are only if the money is misused.
Incorrect. Actually, specifically in the big beautiful, what Donald Trump's directive was within the big beautiful bill is if the states keep using their own money to fund things that Donald Trump doesn't like, then he's going to cut off federal funding. There was never a point in there where Donald Trump actually said that you can't use funding for the federal funding for undocumented immigrants, because that was already a thing, because that was already the law.
So on here it says the bill imposes
On
a
where?
penalty on expenses.
On where?
The government, Congress.gov website.
Oh, gotcha. So what the Republicans are telling you is going on in the bill.
Okay, so you're saying that that's already in place. So that's good then, if that's already in place.
It was already in place. 100% it was already in place. And if you think that that's a good thing, that's totally fine. I have no issue with that. The law says that you can't do that. Nobody was actually doing that. Okay. But why do you have a problem with states within their own states' rights, within their own sovereignty, choosing to use their tax dollars to fund things like that in order to help themselves out? Why do you have a problem with that?
Well, it's fine for a state to do that. It's whenever it's using federal dollars.
But the big beautiful bill is Donald Trump trying to stop them from doing that.
Stop them from giving non-American citizens, like basically illegal aliens, support, because that I definitely don't think should happen, because illegal aliens are.
Hold on, sir. You're jumping conversations. You can personally not like it all you want, okay? And that's totally fine. If California has a vote, and when California votes, they want to make sure that California tax dollars go to supporting undocumented immigrants. Okay? Because again, that's what's best for their system, right?
Okay, but
then why do you have a problem with a state using their own money to fund things that the state wants to do?
Well, whenever those things are illegal, that's the problem.
It's not illegal.
You just said that the state votes to fund illegal aliens coming to the state or
No. It was to fund them getting health insurance.
Health insurance. See, that's still supporting an illegal alien. That's still supporting
No,
somebody that shouldn't be there to begin with.
First of all,
supporting
sir,
behavior.
someone being undocumented, okay, and being an undocumented immigrant isn't necessarily like illegal. The crossing could be illegal, but them being there isn't necessarily illegal. Second of all, it helps keep their insurance costs down.
They broke the law. They broke the law to get in there.
Yeah.
So they should either be in prison or out of our country.
That's not always true.
If
Hold
we're
on, that's not
spending-
always
if we're
true.
spending our money- Oh yeah, I know there's situations where their visa just expires.
Actually, that's the
right?
majority of the situations.
Yeah, if their visa expires, then they've had years to go get it taken care of and not getting it taken care of.
Regardless
They
of
should have
any
took
of that,
care of
sir,
it.
California's insurance rates would go up if they didn't fund that things like Medi-Cal.
Wait, you're saying that California's insurance rates would go up if they didn't fund
Yes.
Medicaid? Because there'd be more people
See,
getting insurance? I
No.
don't
So
understand
when
how that works.
hospitals have to take care of people that are uninsured, Okay. That means that these hospitals have to cover those costs, right? Or insurance companies have to cover those costs, which means prices go up for everyone, which means insurance costs go up for everybody. Right. So the less people that you have, the less people that you have insured, the higher the insurance rates are for everybody who is insured. Okay.
You're
So
just
by
shifting the money though from basically you're saying that, okay, if we don't insure these people, then they're going to use our medical system, and it's going to raise all of our rates for everybody because they're not paying for their bills.
correct.
Which is just like a form of inflation. So we're changing that form of inflation over to a different form of inflation.
No, you're going to
Which
pay
is-
it either way. The tax way is cheaper.
Taxation. You prefer the taxation form of inflation instead of the.
It's not the tax. It's
instead
not a
of the-
form of inflation, sir. Using
Well, yeah,
tax
because you
dollars.
have less.
Using tax dollars to fund government-funded insurance programs like Medi-Cal is significantly cheaper than not having that in place, and then people coming in and raising the insurance costs
Well, think about it for a minute. Where are these tax dollars coming from?
from
Right.
from
They're
California
coming from people
taxpayers
in the state, the California
that
taxpayers,
voted that
right?
they wanted this.
Yeah. Okay. Voting that they want it. Hold on just a minute. Let's ignore that for a second. Just
No,
because
no,
we're
but
talking about
that's the important part, though. I don't know why you'd want to ignore the part that
you
the
brought up-
people
you brought
want
up the
it to
whole-
happen.
Okay, you brought
We
up
do
the
live in a
money side of things. I was
democracy,
just trying
right?
To talk about that. If you're right, okay, I'll let you believe that. But
I'm
also,
just saying we do
the
live in
thing
a
about
democracy, right?
yeah, the thing about voting it in is that if there's a federal law against it, then the state shouldn't be allowed to vote that in.
There was no
And even
federal
if
law
they
against
could,
it.
There's federal laws for these people to not have the citizenship. They're not allowed to be in the country, right? So why are we supporting the behavior by paying for healthcare for these people?
Because
think about it.
It
For a minute.
makes
Let me just,
the
if I
prices
am- if
cheaper
I am
for
in another
everyone.
country- hang on, you told me not to interrupt you.
I know, but I've
I'm
already
in another
answered this
country-
question, and you just seem to be just like ignoring it.
I don't think you've answered. Maybe I'm just not understanding it.
Okay.
Okay.
Because let me just pretend I'm a California voter. I'm not. Let me pretend I'm a California voter. Okay.
Okay.
All right. California has one of the highest concentrations of undocumented immigrants in the country, and just immigrants in general. Because let's also be clear that things like Medi-Cal go to people that are, for the most part, are not. It can go to certain undocumented immigrants. For the most part, it goes to documented immigrants that aren't U.S. citizens. Okay, that can't get other types of health care. Right, because Medicaid, as for like as a whole, goes to American citizens. It doesn't go to even documented migrants. Right, Medi-Cal says, hey, it can go to documented migrants, right, and some undocumented migrants in certain situations, like people that are trying to get their status. Because let's also be very clear, you can't apply for Medi-Cal if you're not documented. Right.
Okay.
I mean, how could you even do that?
Okay.
I mean, no, I'm asking a question. How could you apply for something if you're not documented?
I mean, we could talk about that, but you were
okay.
I thought
That's
you were
fine.
describing a
So
point here.
so California is not freaking being like, hey, here's all the undocumented immigrants. They all get funding. They all get funding for Medi-Cal, because that wouldn't even be possible, right? They're funding their documented immigrants that aren't covered under Medicaid, and there are certain instances when undocumented immigrants, but that's the very, very little tiny part of it.
Okay, I think that the issue that most supporters are of let's say this Republican Party, I think that the issue is that we're under the impression that these immigrants that, let's say they are documented, they're not legally supposed to be here, right? If their visa's up or expired, then they're not supposed to be here. Or if they crossed illegally and became documented, that they still are not supposed to be here. So why are we supporting them?
Sir,
With
you're
our tax
not
dollars
supposed to
or
be here.
State tax. Well, okay. You're talking about Revolutionary War here. This is or that's years.
No.
and years
What I'm
ago.
talking about is what
We have to
makes
protect
someone
what we have
supposed
now.
to be here. You're saying
Well, being born within the
support. You're
country,
saying
it's United States citizen.
you're saying supposed to is that like that's written in the Bible or some shit. You know what I'm saying?
But what I mean is it's against the law. If they're
Sir,
if they're
it's a
not legally
class
crossing
C
the border-
misdemeanor. It's the same as jaywalking.
Okay, just because they classify it at a lower standard than what I think it should be, doesn't mean that it's not
Well,
illegal.
if that's the case, then maybe
And
we
I
should
think
take
it should be
healthcare
treated
away
as a
from
higher-
all. Then maybe we should take healthcare away from all people that jaywalk.
Jaywalking is not the same level of offense. Whenever
No,
somebody
yes, it
crosses
is.
the border,
Actually, it is.
no, whenever somebody crosses,
No.
I understand that legally
It
it
is.
is.
Yeah,
Right? I
legally is
understand
all we care
legally
about,
it's-
sir. Like, not. What are we talking about? We're going to base the law off your
We're
opinion.
talking about changing the laws. That's what we're talking about, right? That's the whole reason that this debate's happening, is because laws are changing and you don't agree with it or you do, and that's what we were talking about.
Yeah, but sir, you're making up a scenario that's happening and then being upset at the scenario.
I'm not making up a scenario. People are crossing the border every day.
Correct. People are crossing the border every day, but again, we're talking about people being ripped off of health insurance, and Donald Trump is ripping disabled people off of health insurance.
Okay.
He's ripping
if you wanna change the
American
subject
citizens.
on-
He's ripping
Yeah,
American
yeah.
citizens off of healthcare. And your complaint to that, okay, is why that should be okay. All right.
No, there's more. There's
You're-
more to
no,
what's
no, you're-
happening
you're-
with the healthcare.
You're saying that Donald Trump should be able to rip between 10 and 17 million American citizens off of healthcare so that California, who again voted for it, can stop funding Medicaid, stop funding healthcare for migrants.
It's a penalty for the state and the government itself.
It's a penalty
The
on
state
disabled
government-
people.
It's the state government not following the law.
They are following the
causing
law.
penalties
What law
for
are
the
they
people
breaking?
within the state?
What law are they breaking?
Or are we not talking about Medi-Cal?
Yeah, what law is Medi-Cal breaking?
Well, the idea of the beautiful bill, I don't know specific laws. I'm not a lawyer, but the idea of it is that we're not supporting that behavior of
Right.
illegally crossing the border and utilizing American funds. And
Sir,
tax
you
dollars
you,
to-
you can say
to
that all
provide
you
for
want.
themselves.
You said that it's punishing them for breaking the law. What law
Right, so
are they breaking?
What I mean is whenever a state government is not doing their duty of whatever they're utilizing the money for, they have checks and balances that they have to go through to say, okay, I did use this money for this thing. If they don't go through those balances or those checks,
They did.
that's whenever there's a penalty on their Medicaid benefits or whatever benefits.
But they
that are
did
provided
go
by
through
the
those checks.
federal
Those
government.
checks already existed.
The California is among the worst at doing those checks.
At what
they
checks?
Never,
Yes, they have. California has passed every audit when it comes to
wish
Medicaid.
that
What are
I
you talking
knew.
about?
I wish that I knew every single detail. Just
Sir, it doesn't
what I
sound
can
like you
tell
know any details. You're just saying that California is the worst, but the California
think you just
passes
don't
all
agree
of
with
sir, but California passes all of their audits when it comes to the federal funding used for Medicaid. They're not the worst, they're the best.
No, I don't. I do not believe that.
Sir, you cannot believe it all you want. Okay?
No, okay,
Sir, no, hold on,
thinking
hold
one
on,
of your
sir,
sources
hold
is
on.
what you're asking
Sir,
me.
what you're doing, okay, is you're just not believing it because you don't like it. I'll give you an example, right? I'll give you an example, all right? Right now, the federal government is shut down. The reason why the federal government is shut down, okay, is because the Democrats don't want a bunch, 10 to 17 million people to lose their Medicaid benefits. And they also don't want people's healthcare premiums, United States citizens, to go up by 114% on average. Okay, that's the reality of the situation. That's the reality of what the big, beautiful bill did. And the Democrats are saying, we don't want people to lose their healthcare like this. Right after they said that, JD Vance got on stage and said, the Democrats want healthcare for illegal immigrants. That's what JD Vance said. Even though no Democrat said that, that's not what the Democrats are asking for. Okay? Nor is that even a possible thing that could happen. All right? But he tells you this, and then you come on here and you repeat stuff like this back to me. You obviously didn't read the bill. Okay? And you obviously don't know much about what how California spends their money as far as Medicaid
I feel
and
like
stuff.
you're trying to personally attack just for not knowing. If I don't
Sir,
know, I want to know.
Sir, I'm not.
Right? So
I'm
tell me
not.
about it.
Sir, I'm not personally attacking you
Well, no,
for
you're
not knowing. I'm personally attacking you
You're yelling,
for
you obviously have
pretending.
no
So,
idea what the hell
sir,
you're talking
I'm
about.
attacking you for pretending like you know when you don't.
I'm telling you about things that I've heard, that I've read, and that I've researched, and we have different sources. It sounds like.
Sir,
And
you
I
haven't
don't-
researched
I don't know
anything.
that
I
your
asked
sources are
you.
accurate.
I asked you for sources for any of this stuff, and you couldn't name a single source for anything. What have you researched?
You did not ask me for sources. I brought up
Yes,
sources.
I did. Okay,
I brought up sources.
what source do you have? Okay, that says federal
The
tax dollars were being
Congress
spent on
government-
illegal immigrants.
Congress.gov.
Congress.gov. And what does Congress.gov say and who said it? And let's also be very
Well, it
clear
doesn't say
that
it just
Congress.gov
lists
is not a
the
source.
big, beautiful, it lists the big beautiful bill and what's
Okay.
in the bill.
Do you know what Congress.gov is?
It's the government website.
Besides that.
What are you trying to imply?
Okay. Let me give you some. Let's pretend that I'm part of Congress. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And I can go up on stage and like during a congressional session. Okay. I walk up to the microphone and I go, I believe that the new federal religion of the United States is becoming a Pastafarian. We will all worship the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster, and we hope that he comes and prays down on us and sprinkles Parmesan over all of us, okay? And I say that on the congressional floor.
Okay.
All right? That then gets put on congress.gov. Okay?
Okay.
It doesn't mean it's true. It just means that it gets put on congress.gov. I can say anything. Congressmen do not have to tell the truth. They don't have to be factual. They don't have to do anything. They can just say whatever they want in Congress, and then it gets put on congress.gov. All right? So, because I said it and now it's on congress.gov, does that mean that the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster is now the official religion of the United States?
Congress.gov does, yes, it does. It lists the actual text of the actual bills, though, on the website. It's not just what people say
Right.
or whatever's being recorded. It lists the actual text.
Okay, let me give you a better example, okay? If Congress passes a bill tomorrow that says that murder is now illegal, does that mean that it wasn't illegal before?
Well, no.
Okay, so Donald Trump can write something in a bill that says that we're going to stop states from spending their money on undocumented immigrants. It doesn't mean that they're doing it. It doesn't mean that they were even trying to do it. It doesn't mean that it wasn't illegal before. It just means that he's saying that you can't do it. So when I'm asking you for sources, sir, what I'm asking you is for actual sources to show, hey, California was doing this thing. Okay? Not somebody saying it, not the bill saying that you can't do it, that California was actually doing it.
Okay, I understand that me saying that about California. That was probably one thing that I don't have a good source for, and I apologize for that. However, you can go to the Congress website and download the bill. And what I do. And I know this is probably
I've read the bill.
Stupid, but what I would do is I download the bill, and I don't read the whole thing. I put it in ChatGPT and I ask for specific sections. And I know that that's not the most accurate, but I think it's the best way. And for somebody that's a layman that's not not entrenched in politics 24/7. But I will say there's nothing in there. At least specifically, people were upset about the Medicaid changes and the the things related to food stamps and what am I thinking of? The welfare benefits, all of that stuff. People were really upset about it. So that's where I did my research within that bill. I looked to see. And all of these things, all it's doing is requiring checks and balances for these things. So, like with the food stamps,
checks and balances.
Yes, you have better checks on food stamps because,
what
for example, you're required more often to undergo eligibility audits. Right? You have to go and redo your eligibility audits. So, okay, that lowers the number of people that are actually going to be eligible. Because people.
And why does it lower the amount of people that will be eligible?
Because a lot of these people are not eligible to begin with.
Incorrect.
You on food stamps.
Hold on. No. That's incorrect.
It's not incorrect.
No. See, what it's doing, sir, it's not making the eligibility different. Okay? The eligibility is still the same.
More checks.
Right, yeah, exactly. So what do more checks mean?
It means that it's harder to get around.
No. More checks means more paperwork. More checks means more complicated. Okay? What they are not trying to the paperwork because this has already happened, right? This has already been done in Georgia. It was already done in Arkansas. We've already seen the effects of this. Okay? It didn't make people less eligible. What it did is it drowned people in so much complicated paperwork that they weren't able to apply even if they were eligible. Okay, because
There is also
there's
an
all, sir,
eligibility
because
change
sir,
as well.
sir,
There is-
sir, I'm in the middle of a sentence here. The eligibility,
I'm so
people
sorry.
were already being checked for their eligibility, and they already had to
Yeah.
reaffirm their eligibility on a very, very,
Once a
very consistent basis. Okay, this is
Once a
some,
year,
this is
it's
things that Chat GPT doesn't tell you. Okay, let me be also
No,
very
yeah,
clear
no.
that Chat GPT. I was looking up an event in my town yesterday, and it told me that yes, the event is happening, okay, on Saturday, October 5th. Okay.
Yeah, it
Today
can
is
be
Saturday.
inaccurate.
October 5th is tomorrow. Okay. But ChatGPT told me it was happening on Saturday, October 5th. Also, the way that you frame things within a chat, within generative AI changes the results. Okay. But it doesn't
but
give you
we're not talking
context,
about that.
but it doesn't give you context of what was already happening.
Okay, I understand. And the thing, let me go back to your previous point about the eligibility, right? It's not changing actual eligibility. I understand that. There are points in the bill where they do change eligibility requirements, but let's ignore that for a minute. You only get checked for eligibility once a year. That's how it works. If you don't do your eligibility check, you continue to have food stamps for the next year. You get another year before it becomes a problem. They just let it through. So you don't actually have to do the paperwork very often. So what this is doing is making it we have to do this paperwork.
Yeah, so again, that's incorrect. Okay. SNAP eligibility
Sorry, I
recertification
cut
happens
out
every
the-
6 months.
No,
Okay.
it's not. It's not. I'm on food stamps. I do it once a year.
Congratulations. It's every 6 months.
It's just not true. But let's move on from that. The eligibility changes that were made, so that they made it so that you had to either have a job, be applying for a job, actively looking for a job, or be donating your time to the community in some way, like food drives and stuff, going out and helping in the community. The point of it is to get people where they actually they contribute in some way instead of living off of the system. Does that make sense?
They already
So
had work
That
requirements.
gets a lot of people.
They already had work requirements.
Yeah, they had work requirements. The requirement was to send in one application per 3 months, right? It's not very good requirement.
Sir, what percentage of
And-
people on these programs don't work and don't already fit within a category that is waiverable?
You'd be really surprised. There's a lot.
I'm
of
not
people that
surprised
don't
'cause I
fit
know
in
the
those-
number.
Those categories. Okay, tell me the number. I'm curious.
7%.
Okay, 7% is a high number. That's
7% is
that are not
high?
contributing to society.
No,
Yeah,
that, sir,
7% of 300 million people.
sir, 7% of the people that are on Medicaid and food stamps.
Okay, that's still there's a high percentage of people that are on Medicaid and food stamps, though.
You think 300 million people?
Okay, not 300 million. I thought you said 7%. I was assuming you meant 300 million people because that's how many people are in the United States. But let's say 7% of just the people on food stamps. That's still a high number, higher than it should be.
No, sir. Those are the people that are recertifying every 6 months. Okay, those are just the people that are attempting to get work and they haven't yet. Okay, the other 93% are people that already are either disabled or they fit within one of the categories where you can be wavered outside of it, right? Like being a caretaker
there's
of somebody
people where
that's
you don't-
disabled or something like that. Okay, 7% is just the people that are recertifying. If you take Donald Trump's cuts, maybe you should go, find this in generative AI. Take Donald Trump's cuts over the next 10 years on Medicaid. Okay, it will cut
Yeah, they-
more than 7% of people off of Medicaid. Okay.
That would be
So
great.
therefore,
That's-
if you took off every single person, okay, that is not currently working on Medicaid, okay, you would still have to kick off a whole bunch of people that were disabled just to meet Donald Trump's cuts.
Okay, I think I'm fine with that.
You're okay with
I mean,
people
it's
with the
unfortunate.
people
I don't
with the
want-
most
I
with
don't
the
want people to
people
starve.
in our country that cannot work due to disability. You're okay with them not eating. That's what you're saying.
There's work they can do. There's work. I mean, it's got to be pretty bad. And some people that
It is pretty bad that
you
you're
know,
literally
let's-
advocating for people fucking starving and dying. That's fucking sad.
No. I don't want people to die. I want people to contribute. It costs everybody money for somebody to be on Medicaid. It costs everybody money. And it doesn't seem like it. Everyone thinks that it's just magical money that's just going to come out of the fucking the air, and we're just going to use it, and it's not going to change anything. Because yeah, the government will print it, but it's going to cost everybody money in inflation and in our actual taxes.
So just to be
So
clear, you
whenever
want to
somebody's
hold on.
not
Just to be
contributing-
clear, you want to take disabled people off of their health insurance.
No.
Okay. No, you hold on. You want to take disabled people off their health insurance so that we can fund billionaire tax cuts. And you're totally okay with that.
That's not at all what I said.
It is. You just said that you are okay with
I
disabled
said
people.
I'm okay with cutting some people that are able to work but are not actually disabled.
No,
I'm
sir,
okay with
sir,
people
sir, sir.
getting
What
out
I
and getting
said was
being
Donald Trump's
contributed.
cuts will cut funding for disabled people, and you said I am okay with that.
I'm okay with funding getting cut. Yes.
Gotcha. So
No,
you're okay
I'm
with
not
the
okay
most
with-
vulnerable people in our society, okay, losing funding for food and healthcare, two things that we just need to survive, in order to give giant tax cuts to the richest people in the United States.
Okay. I feel like you're like reaffirming over and over that this just moves the money to tax
It
cuts to the
does.
rich people in the United
You
States.
should look that
I
up in the
learn
Big
more
Beautiful
about
Bill
that.
also.
Tell me about that. I'm interested now.
You're the one who grokked the Big Beautiful Bill. Why don't
asking
you
a
tell me
question.
about it?
I'm asking you a question. I want to know what tax cuts are you talking about?
The corporate tax cuts to start.
Okay, go. Tell me about it.
Sir, do you
Tell me
not
about
know
it. I
anything
wanna
about the tax cuts? That thing
Do I
that,
not
that,
know
that
anything about
Donald
tax
Trump,
cuts?
that the whole thing that Donald Trump ran on, where he did a 14% cut on corporate tax cuts his first term, then he went and backed it up by another 8% tax cut. He's literally lowering the corporate tax rate. He's lowering the wealth tax rate. He's lowering all of these tax rates for the richest
Well,
people in the United States. And he's literally using the money from these Medicaid cuts to fund those things.
You know, none of us would have work if there wasn't a corporation paying it. You know what I mean? Like if you're taxing the corporation, you're taxing the people that work for it.
No, you're not.
Yeah, you are. The people work
No.
for that corporation. Now,
Actually, we have a
Do
direct,
I-
sir. First of all, that's what's called trickle down economics, which is one of the most highly debunked things in our history. I think we have more evidence that the earth is flat than trickle down economics working. Okay. But straight up, we know 100% that tax cuts for corporations do not equal job creation or raises within those jobs.
well, the problem is that CEOs and owners are taking those tax cuts, right? But that's not the way it should be. The point of it is to get the money into the pockets of the people that are working, or to stimulate growth for the corporation, right?
Yeah. But see, here's the
So that
problem.
they
You're
can do-
taking the money away from the workers to give it to the corporations who are not doing that. You're saying the entire point is to get money into the hands of the workers, which I agree with. Okay. The workers are the people on SNAP and the people on Medicaid that you're taking the funding away from. That is the whole point, is that we are taking money away from the workers, okay, and giving it to the corporations. 60% of Walmart's workers are on some type of federal assistance.
Yeah, that's not right. I don't think that they should be. I agree with you there, that the corporation should pay their people better. But I will say that taking the money from the working citizens and stuff, I don't think that that's as true as you're implying, right? Because they're adding more checks and balances and more requirements to these Medicaid benefits and whatnot to cut people off of it. But the point of it is to stimulate growth and to get these people to put in more effort in the economy itself, because everybody's talking about how bad the economy is and everything's so expensive. There needs to be more value added to our economy. And so the idea is to stimulate people to do more produce more and stimulate those corporations to do more and produce more.
Yeah, so let's take a look
That's
at
the-
let's
that's
take a
the
look at
whole idea.
Arkansas. Arkansas already did this.
Okay.
Okay. Kicked tons of people off their healthcare. You know what the result of it was?
Tell me about it.
Healthcare premiums skyrocketed and the unemployment rate went up.
Okay.
Yeah. There was
Um,
less
just because
job
it was
creation.
done poorly
There was
in the past.
higher insurance rates, okay? And less people were working. Less people. It didn't stimulate the
I don't
economy.
think that necessarily means that is the outcome every single time.
well,
or if it's done properly.
Well, you mean like when Georgia did it and had the
I'm
exact
sorry if
same
Georgia
results?
Did it wrong. I'm sorry if Arkansas did it wrong, and
Oh,
I hope
gotcha.
it doesn't go
so,
badly
so
this time.
when Arkansas
Okay.
did it, when the United States government does exactly like Arkansas did it and it failed, right? And the United States government does it exactly like Georgia did it and it already failed at doing exactly what you're saying, okay? But maybe when we do it on a larger scale,
what do you propose?
it'll work.
I'm interested in knowing what's the best way to stimulate the growth of our economy, because right now,
well, first of all, you don't
the
put
whole
giant
reason
tariffs
Trump
on
was
people.
Elected,
Sir,
don't put giant tariffs on people.
what part of the economy needed to be stimulated when Donald Trump took office?
I don't know specific parts of the economy. You mean like industry? I don't.
Well, I mean, we under the last year of the Biden administration, we had record high stock market numbers. We had record high job growth all the way through the Biden administration, creation of 16 million jobs, of 9 of which were non-COVID, return jobs. We had the record unemployment rate, even beat Donald Trump's unemployment rate under his term. We had an inflation rate that dropped below 3%. Okay, our economy was booming. We recovered from COVID faster than any industrialized nation on the planet. And the Wall Street Journal, a right-leaning publication, said that Biden was giving Donald Trump an economy that was the envy of the world. So I'm wondering.
That's a wild statement.
Well, you can call it wild all you want, okay, but we had an economy that was accomplishing all of those things. Now Donald Trump has come in, all right, to, in quotation, stimulate the economy. We had our first job loss numbers since COVID. We have the highest unemployment rate since the shutdown for COVID. We've had record high manufacturing jobs leaving just this year, okay? And consumer costs are starting to rise, including gas prices are rising to a higher price than it was when Trump took over. All right? So why did we need to stimulate the economy?
Okay, gas prices are down.
They are not.
For one. And I think
They are
the
not.
inflation rate, and I think the inflation rate in general that people talk about is not factoring in a lot of things. Whenever you talk about Biden's inflation rate was 3%, it's not factoring in 90% of goods that people need on a daily.
That's exactly what it
I don't even
calculates.
factor in milk.
It's exactly what it calculates. That's the whole point of it.
No, it's not. It leaves out the important things. The things
No,
that
it
are
doesn't.
actually inflating.
Actually, they actually break it down
Consumer
into different
price index
inflationary
is what
numbers.
it is.
They go all consumer goods, they go groceries, they go all of those things are calculated individually and they're all up. The only thing that wasn't was gas prices, and now
not
gas
based
prices
on
are up
wages.
too.
It's not based on government debt or deficit level. It's not based on real estate. It's not based on cars. I don't think it's even based on cars. It cuts out everything that is actually an asset and anything that people
No,
actually own.
those are separate rates, and again, in cars are way through the roof, and houses are still rising in cost also.
Yeah, so you agree that the prices are going up like crazy then?
Sir, I'm talking about right now.
Yes. Previously, in the past, since 2020, ever since this COVID lockdown, we've had nonstop, astronomical prices going up, astronomical rates. It's crazy.
Yeah,
Like,
inflation
I got
went
my
up
house-
after
I got my
COVID.
house at an interest rate of 4% in 2022, and now interest rates are like 8%, 9%. If you want to
No,
buy a
they're
house,
not.
how are you going to do that?
Interest rates aren't
Yes, they are.
8-9%.
They might be. They might be
What the fuck
lower.
are you talking
now.
about, dude?
They might be lower now.
They were. I don't know if they were ever at
What-
9% for a
what-
house. Jesus Christ!
Yes, it was at one point. Okay.
I bought my house
If
4
you-
years ago at what, 3 something? What are you talking about?
Yeah, you bought it 4 years ago. Yeah, that's what I'm
Right
saying.
after
In
COVID.
just 4 years. Okay, during COVID, 2020 and 2021, interest rates went down to 1% for a short time, but then they skyrocketed.
Of course they skyrocketed it. What's the point of raising the inflation? What's the point of raising the interest rate?
Hey man, I really do appreciate you doing this call and letting me talk to you. I do have to go though, and I hate to cut it off. I appreciate talking.
That's okay. I have no problem. The
definitely,
reason why the interest rate went up is because the inflation rate went up, and the reason why the inflation
Okay,
rate
I
up is a
wanna
mix
say
of
just one
COVID
thing
and
real
astronomical
quick.
government spending because of COVID. That's fine. I was just educating you real quick. You can go now. I just wanted to make sure that you understood
No,
the
let me
reason
just
why
say one
interest
thing
rates were
really
raised.
quick.
Well, no. You
I
said
would
no. I mean, if we're going to say something, I'm going to say something. It's my turn.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead, and then can I talk?
I'm just saying you're talking about interest rates going up, and you don't seem to understand the reason why interest rates go up. Why we
I
raise
do
it? Why
understand
we
why it
raise
goes
and
up.
lower interest rates to either stimulate the economy or to freaking slow down the economy. Like currently, we're now raising interest rates because the economy is moving so slowly that we need to spark it. But go ahead. What's on your mind?
Situations. Okay, what I was gonna. You can't just leave me with that. There are situations where you're supposed to raise interest rates, and there's situations where you're supposed to lower it.
Correct.
Right now, the economy is telling us to do both things, to raise interest rates and lower interest rates, which is not possible. So we have to do something else. We have to find something else drastic that we can do. But anyways, let's not talk about that for a minute. What I want
Thanks,
to say
Trump.
is I would recommend that you, whenever you talk to people, if you really believe what you're saying.
No, not interested in your
Just
opinion.
try
Anyways, I
to-
hope you have a wonderful
try
day.
to
Okay.
be
No,
more understanding.
not interested in
All right,
hearing your
you have a
opinion
good one.
of my
I
attitude.
appreciate your time, sir.
Yeah, you too, man.
Good day.
Bye. Not interested at all. Thank you guys so much. We are going to move on to the next caller. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Let me go through a few super chats real quick, and then we'll keep this thing going. Lovely Goddess said, I thought Trumpers were all about states' rights. They're always about states' rights as long as it benefits them. But if a state is doing something they don't like, then they don't get states' rights anymore. Did that pretty much cover it? Did I MAGA right? I'm pretty sure that's how you MAGA. Yo, make sure you hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Akira said, we don't make laws based off the opinions of weak maggots. We do not. Well, actually, technically right now we do. Technically right now, that is literally what our Congress is doing. Yeah, anyways, thank you so much. Blinded, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Said, more checks means more work for the government. I thought conservatives were against larger government. That's a very, very good point. He was saying more and more checks. We need more and more checks. Again, it sounds like they just want larger government only when they want it to do things that they want, but smaller government when it's anything Democrats want. Again, am I MAGAing right? I'm not sure. Someone help me out if I'm not. Thank you so much, Blinded. Alex said, a lot of junior enlisted soldiers are on WIC for new families. WIC can help small children eat like formula. I was on WIC for formula for my daughter when she was first born. So that's 100%. Because my daughter was born premature and I couldn't afford the formula. It was very, very expensive. God knows, it's freaking crazy expensive now. It's even worse. But that's a very good point. Thank you so much, Alex. And Shay, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. I really appreciate that. Make sure you put doubles in the chat for Shay. I really, really appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. So I really don't like Trump supporters. They don't care about others at all. Lose healthcare, no food. Who cares? Yeah, they're just they're just the poors. They're just the poors. We can't worry about the poors. Ridiculous. Thank you so much, Shay. I really appreciate that $20 super chat. Again, big W's in chat for Shay. John, also thank you so much for the $2 super chat. I appreciate that. We're going to move on to the next caller. Keep this thing going. I really, really appreciate y'all. Hope y'all are having a wonderful day. Again, make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you'd like to support the live, I do have super chats open like you guys have seen. I like to throw them up in between callers. Also, please consider becoming a member or a super fan. Great way to support the live and to keep things like this going. So I really appreciate you. Plus, you get a cool little symbol, and I get to give you a cool little member thing in the Discord. Really, really fun. Phone lines are back open. Let's keep this thing going. Ugh. I think I need more water over here. Got a little bit of a headache this morning. What's going on? Oh, there it is. I was like, I see phone lines going through, but no calls going through. Hello, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. How old are you?
I am 38.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
I am, I would say about 60-40 with him right now.
60-40. So just we're still not.
I agree, and
hold on,
I
hold on.
agree with a lot of things. Okay.
I was just saying, I just want to make sure that the constitutional violations just haven't pushed us quite over the edge yet. But go ahead.
Okay. No problem. I just wanted to kind of bring in a little bit of a different opinion on the situation, the way that things are described here, and it's going to come from a point of an immigrant, I guess. I have been listening to this conversation, and it seems like the guy didn't get to live out the life in the United States for the past 25 years or so, and see the changes in an immigration statuses and things of that nature. My little journey here, the reason why I am standing along some of the policies here that Trump has implemented is because of the things that I was put through. I was made to go through a legal system. I had to learn to speak English. This is not my main language. I had to come into this country legally with documentations, arrive here legally. Then I would have to proceed and attend multiple events where I would have to sit in lines for hours and days on out, wasting my own life away. It took me 5 years to get my paperwork in order to just come here. And that's 5 years that I didn't have with my family, my mother, my father. Then once I did make it here.
Yeah, that's
and I had
all,
to go through
sir,
all the
no
rest of
offense.
the
That's all well and
paperwork.
good. What the fuck does this have to do with Trump?
What it has to do with Trump is that all of these illegal immigrants that are flowing into this country, that are getting benefits, okay? I understand
Illegal immigrants
that
aren't getting benefits.
maybe it feels unfair, right?
No, it's not
Because
unfair.
I never
It's not
received any
happening.
of such help.
Yeah, you didn't receive any
It's not
because you.
happening. It is happening. It is
Well,
absolutely.
no,
it has
it's
happened
not. You didn't get any
already.
because it's illegal to do so, and it's still illegal to do so.
So what you're saying is that the entirety of my time spent making sure that I arrived here legally, that I make sure that I followed all the rules, guidelines, and everything else, everything that I did was just a huge spit in my face and a waste of my life.
No, absolutely
right?
not.
Because
That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm
those
saying
people
undocumented
that are
immigrants
coming
don't
in,
get benefits. That's what I said.
I'm sorry, that's not true. I live next
All
to
right,
a
what
neighbor
benefit are
that
they
has
getting?
5 residents that are staying in that particular
Awesome.
house.
What benefits are
They're
they getting?
driving very expensive. They're getting very expensive cars.
What benefits
okay?
are they
And
getting?
SNAP, Medicaid.
They're buying super
okay?
expensive
WIC.
cars off of Snap?
No, sir. They're
Oh.
living illegally in their house with a stack of multiple people, okay, under the radar, getting benefits from the state while driving nicer vehicles than me when I've been sweating and bleeding for this country
Yeah,
for 20
you're a
years.
liar.
Oh, excuse me? You're just,
I said
going
you're a
with
liar.
your
Did you hear
agenda.
me? Did you hear me better
Yeah,
that
I
time?
heard you clear as day.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
heard you both times
Undocumented
clear as day.
immigrants can't get SNAP. Undocumented immigrants can't get Medicaid. Undocumented immigrants can't get WIC. Now, documented immigrants can,
According to you.
according to the law.
According to the law that does not work, then I guess.
The law
because
works
I haven't
perfectly fine.
Physically
Now, documented.
seen and I've
now,
spoken to these people.
yes, I totally understand,
about
sir.
this.
You go to your neighbor's house. They go, "Hi, I'm illegally here and I'm getting Medicaid." I know. I hear this about once every other day, where somebody just is going up
I'm
to their
also a
neighbor's house,
blue-collar worker
and their neighbors just
that
tell them,
works around
"Hi,
illegal
how's it going?
immigrants all
I'm
day
illegally
long.
here and I'm getting Medicaid." It's like their introduction. I hear it all the time.
I don't work
okay?
in an office, sir. I work
Yeah,
around
sir,
people that
nobody
don't
asked
speak
you if
English.
you were getting an office, or nobody asked you if you were working around people that speak English. Documented immigrants in
okay.
certain states can get things like Medicare, especially like California, Medi-Cal, right? Medi-Cal is available to some documented immigrants, including things like asylum seekers, people on temporary legal status, okay? But undocumented immigrants can't apply for things like Medicare.
Do
Okay.
you know any Texas
McCabe?
policies? I'm hearing a lot of California stuff. California is a drive behind a lot of
use
issues.
California
at some states.
because California is actually one of the most liberal states when it comes to actually giving benefits to migrants, right? So that's why I bring that up. But if you like me to go to places like Texas, they actually get less benefits in places like Texas.
Correct. I had times in my life where I was in desperate need with 3 children of assistance from the government, and they declined me because out of all the bills that I was paying, I had a car that was taken out and I was making payments on. That's the only thing that I was making payments on, and they declined me and my kids for assistance, for help of any kind,
That's
because
horrific.
I had a vehicle that was purchased through a bank. Okay? The system
Yeah.
does not work well, sir. Because
I
there's so
agree.
many people that are using the system, the people that need it, And it's not just Trump term. It was during Bush, it was during Obama, it was during Biden terms. And during Biden terms is when I started actually not receiving any help. That they literally would put me on a 6 month hold, and they would sit there and tell me that I can't get those benefits, and that I would reapply, and they would not help me. I would literally die of starvation before in Biden administration I got any help.
So this is what you're telling me. Okay, this is what you're telling me. You couldn't get help when you needed it. And due to you not being able to get help when you needed it, you think that other people should also not be able to get help when they need it.
Oh, that's absolutely not true. That's the opposite way. I believe that people need help. I believe that people that are in need of help, they need help. But like I'm starting to say this, I have done everything in my absolute power to make sure I became a citizen here.
Sir,
to make sure that I was here lawfully.
Trump is arresting people at their immigration hearings.
Okay, let's just put it this way. If I were to ask you this, okay, just a simple question, okay? You are, just as an example, you're a father. You made other examples here. You're a father. You are in a situation in another country. Let's just put it Mexico, Guatemala, whatever you want to put it, down south, right? And you're coming over and you decide to bring yourself and your family and your children over the border illegally, okay? Mm-hmm. You're in a situation that you've chosen to do that because you're in a desperate times, right? Mm-hmm. What in your mind makes you believe that it's okay to bring a child over the border and everybody else and put them in danger in the way that the border
it depends on how much danger they were. It depends on how much danger we were in where we were at.
Well, let's just put it this way. America is a very flexible country, okay? If we talk about
hold on, let's not ignore my point here. I made a very good point there, and I don't want to pivot off of that point. It depends on how much danger I was in. Sir, I am more than happy to put my family in danger to get to a better life if we're in more danger where we're at, okay? And that's the problem. People are not coming here, okay, because they just, needed a vacation. So they're like, we should go hang out and get, smuggled across a border by a coyote. The reason why they're coming over here is because of desperation, because of fear, okay? Because of from starvation, inability to get money, work, food, shelter. This is why people are coming over here, because the option is either put themselves in danger getting here or stay in the danger where they're at. The danger where they're at is definitive. The danger here is only possible. That's why I would move my family.
It's like a contradiction in a way. Why would they pay cartel and others tens of thousands of dollars to get them to the border and let them cross it? You see cars unloading all the time with people that are paying cartel and other, excuse my language, I don't even want to say that. I don't want to, go off there, but why would they give them money to put their lives in danger knowing that they're now going to be in hands of those cartel to get over here? They think that once they cross the border, that's it, cartel has lost the grip on anything that they've done. That's another thing about it. If you're in danger and you're going to use cartel to transport you to the border, how is that okay?
Not everybody uses a cartel to transport them to the border. I was making a very specific example of somebody who is desperate. I'm not saying that every single person that comes across the border is using the cartel to do so.
Absolutely not.
Okay, then why are you making it sound like I said that?
But it sounded. That's the way that it sounded to me. I've also seen people cross the border from many other countries. It doesn't have to be here. There's people that would come up and make just a reason to be here. Of course, it's the land of the free. People want to be here. It's understandable. This is a melting pot that everybody comes here to. This is the land of immigration. This is what it is
Trump's
for.
America.
Yeah, everybody comes here. Well, it's not just Trump's America, sir. You can't just go off and just blame it on Trump. It's a buildup that has been happening. It's a handoff from one to another president of policies changes.
I think you're making a bad distinction here. I'm not blaming Trump for our immigration problem. Okay, we've had an immigration problem as long as I can remember in this country. Okay, where we needed better laws. All right. And I agree that we need better laws. I agree that we need better immigration control. I believe that we need stronger borders, and we have for a long time. I believe that we need more border patrol agents, and I believe that we need to be able to process people better and background check people. I believe all of that stuff. Okay? I believe all of that stuff very wholeheartedly. What I disagree with Trump on,
because that's safety of our nation in question.
Right, but
that is
sir,
absolutely
but
good
but
to hear.
but that's not what we're talking about when it comes to Trump. With Trump, we are talking about sending people with no crimes to torture prisons. Okay, We are talking about building things like alligator Alcatraz, all right? Inhumane situations for people, all right? We are talking about Donald Trump just had 400,000 people, Venezuelans, who were here legally. He just had their legal status in this country revoked so that he could deport them, all right? Donald Trump was deporting children with cancer without their medication, all right? It has nothing to do with should we have a strong immigration stance in this country. Absolutely, we should. Okay, absolutely, we should have strong borders. Okay, 100%. Biden believed that. Obama believed that. Trump believes that. That's not a Trump thing. My problem with Trump's immigration stance is the inhumanity. Okay. Like that last caller who was just like, oh, well, pretty much saying like, oh, if migrants are here and they're here illegally, then they should starve or not be able to get health care. Okay? No, if they should be deported, then they should be deported. I have no problem with that. But while they're here, okay, they shouldn't die over it. They shouldn't be worried about whether their kid is going to get thrown in a van and disappeared in a van, then sent to Rwanda. All
well,
right.
That's the feeling that everybody gets here. I can have my kids sitting out in the street and I can be in fear that anybody can just drive by, snatch them up into a car or pull them into the house and they're gone within the next few minutes.
And that's a horrible thing that I think that all parents worry about. But there is a big difference between that happening out of crime and that being actually perpetrated by the government.
Well, right, correct.
Yeah, and that's being happened.
I'm not saying the government is going to come and snatch out my children.
But they are. Maybe not yours, but the children of lots of people across the United States by ICE, right? That is happening.
All I'm saying is from a point of my point from being an immigrant that earned his way to be here, all that comes to my mind is if I'm looking at the swimming pool and I'm about to dive in, I better make sure I know how to swim, okay? Or at least how to float, so that I have enough time to yell for help or something, okay? I'm not going to jump into a pool with weights attached to my feet and then try to swim. That's just terrible, okay? You got to plan things out in life. And if it comes down to you being in a situation where you know it's going to escalate in the future, it's going to escalate in weeks, then you got to start making planning, preparing, and finding ways of how to legally enter without being put out afterwards out of this country, okay? You can't just come in there and claim a status that isn't true just so that you can get in.
Nobody's
and then
claiming
when your
a
status
that
gets
isn't
validated,
true. That's not happening.
Right.
Okay. Well, that's just a ridiculous hypothetical. That doesn't mean anything.
I mean, do you tell me that people don't lie? You know, I know that you in your life do that all the time. It's just if they're fibbing or whatever, it doesn't matter. There's people in life that you would like to protect from some information, and you wouldn't want to give them something just because, or you want to be as truthful as possible.
Let me give you a little story. Okay, I'm gonna give you a little story.
Sure.
Yeah. So when I was a kid, all right, when I was a kid, I took swimming lessons. All right. It was like the city pool. It was actually a member of our church that ran the swimming lessons. And my parents put me into swimming lessons. You know, the reason why my parents put me into swimming lessons, okay, because my parents couldn't swim, right? And they wanted to make sure that I could swim. All right. Because they didn't want me, drown or whatever. So one day we're at swimming lessons. All right. And I went to go dive off the diving board. All right. I slipped on the edge of the diving board. I hit my head. Okay, and fell into the pool. All right. My mom, who cannot swim, ran out on the diving board and was getting ready to jump in the pool to try to save my life from drowning. All right. Even though she couldn't have swim. Okay. When people's kids
should be doing that.
When people's kids are in danger, okay, logic doesn't always work that way. People are there to protect their families and protect their kids, even though logically, looking back on it, right? The lifeguard then would have had to have saved both of us if I was unconscious. I was fine. I was young. I hit my head and I just swam through. Not a big deal. Okay. You're literally saying right now that parents of immigrants should be stopping and being more logical when it comes to the protection of their children and their families. And that's not the way shit works. Okay. When your children are in danger, when your family is in danger, whether that be from violence, whether that be from starvation, whether that be from any of those things, then you will do whatever has to get done to save your family. All right. So stop expecting a logical reaction, okay, from an illogical situation. All right.
Well,
These
how about
people
this then?
are on the edge of that diving board, okay,
Mhm.
trying to save their families. Okay. And all I'm
Okay.
saying is, all right, yes, they should follow our laws and they should do all of that stuff. But I also don't want that parent jumping in and drowning also, because then that's a second person we have to save. All right. And we should probably be very reactionary to the kid in the pool with that just hit his head too. We should just make sure they're okay. And if they're okay, and then we send them, and they have to, and they get deported or whatever happens, or they come here and their legal status gets revoked or, whatever for something wrong, or they don't belong, they're not supposed to be here, then we deport them. We do all that sort of stuff, but we don't let them drown. That's all I'm saying.
Sure, that's humanity.
Right. Donald Trump's policies are not humanity. Okay. Donald Trump's policies run up and push the mom into the pool also. Okay. And then as they're swimming towards the side, he kicks their hand off the edge. That's what Donald Trump's policies do.
So my question to you is, let's say you're in California, right? For example, and you're staying in California. You become uncomfortable. Your lifestyle, you feel like you're in danger in some form or fashion. You're unable to financially make it there or anything like that. Do you just leave America, or do you move to another state that will give you a potential more safety or a better, potential cheaper, a more affordable lifestyle, since most states have different costs of living? Maybe you can just make yourself more comfortable in another place. Meanwhile, you're making a plan of, hey, if it doesn't work out here, maybe I'll move to, I don't know, another country. I don't even want to list anything.
What makes you think
okay?
I have
Go
the
to
ability
Australia
to
or
move?
something? What makes you think that you have the ability to move? Because it does not take much, man. You can sell off just a few items and buy the tickets and be out on the limb. That's all it takes to get out.
You think I'm going to take my whole family just out on a limb after selling a few items? Apparently, you've never moved before.
Oh, if you're in danger, that much, if you feel like you're in that much danger that you
if I'm in danger, I'll move wherever I have to move to make sure I'm not in danger.
Okay, so that's the whole thing about it. You just don't leave the whole country.
Yes, I would.
If you're not doing that well.
If I was in danger, I would definitely leave the whole country.
So in this particular case, the way that it feels like this buildup is too much to handle for a lot of these Democratic parties. It feels like it's to the point where some people are moving out. They're leaving this country. I've heard it. I've seen.
Sir, I've been to dozens of countries. Okay, like dozens. Sure. I'm not afraid to leave this country. I'm not ready to leave this country. I want to stay very much in this country because I love my country, and I love my country so much I'm willing to fight for my country to make sure that we still have a country after this presidency is over. I love my country that much. I'm not running away from my country. Okay.
Okay. That's patriotism. I can appreciate that.
Because I actually do love my country. Okay. I want to make sure we still have a country. And I don't want our country to delve into authoritarianism or totalitarianism. Okay. Based off of a bunch of people just whining about immigration and being afraid of brown people. All right. That's what I'm afraid of.
There is no color, man. There is no color.
Yes,
the division comes from somebody else. Okay.
Yes, there is.
It's all about how you carry yourself as a human being. It doesn't matter if you're brown, purple. We're all shades of gray, dude.
That's a lie.
Everybody is about their noggin.
That's a lie.
It's how you handle yourself as a human being. Yes,
not true.
That is. And I found that 100% true.
Well,
with
maybe
myself
you
in
have,
my life.
but
Everyone
that's not
that
true.
I touch with my presence, I've never had to
explain this to me, sir.
From their skin color.
Explain this to me, then, sir. Then how come there have been multiple studies where they have sent applications to jobs, all right, and they have put what would sounded like white sounding names on one and what sounded like black sounding names on the other, and with the exact same qualifications to jobs, right? And the white sounding names were even more, or not only more likely to get called back, but actually more likely to have a second callbacks after that.
That is that company's doing. If they were applying for my company, they would have had a full-on resume. It doesn't matter if the name was Javante or Kevin.
Sir, I'm not talking about your company. We're not talking about you. We are talking about America. Okay. And in America, there is color. And in America, there is race. And people are not treated the same. Okay. Regardless of skin tone, regardless of ethnicity. Okay. Regardless of race. People are not treated the same way. Okay. So regardless of whether you think people should be treated the right way, which I agree, people should be treated the right way. All right. People are not treated the right way. And ignoring that fact does not help the situation. Okay. Ignoring the idea that that is the way America is does not help to fix the in situation. Okay. Ignoring it just makes it worse. Ignoring it normalizes it. It makes it okay. All right. And I just refuse to do that.
We're not ignoring it. This country is becoming just harsh. It's heartless. The social media is killing the humanity and a lot of people. You're scrolling through and you see something fun, and then a murder happens on the next reel, and then you go back to something fun. It's become a normal thing. Okay. So when you're dealing with the population of people that will be loving and caring for one another, and then get on the road, and 5 minutes down the road, they're going to scream bloody murder at somebody else not using their blinker and almost ramming into them. That's just now the way that the society is starting to function. We need to care for one another. We need to care for thy neighbor. We need to care for other people. It doesn't matter their skin colors. Not everybody deserves a shot just to know what their behavior would be like. That's what I would give them. I would start them at 100. It doesn't matter if you don't speak English, if you speak Korean, if whatever else, and you're here, I will find means of communication with you. I'll use an interpreter, whatever it is, and I will never judge that person.
Sir, this is all great.
Skin color.
This is all great. You're the one that supports the guy who's against that. Okay. So I encourage you. Okay. I encourage you to really reconsider who you're supporting when it comes to politics. If you believe all that shit you just said, okay, if you truly believe all that shit you just said,
I live it. I don't believe it. I live it.
Then, no, well, you don't, okay? Because you're up here on my live supporting the person, okay, who believes the exact opposite of that, okay? Who has dinner with people like Nick Fuentes, who honors people, known fucking racists, okay? Who puts racist policies into place and racist people into places.
Listen, you want the police to police and follow the law?
You are supporting the exact opposite of those policies. Period.
Or enforce emotion.
Okay? You're supporting that, all right? So if you really believed it and you lived it, then you should really rethink how you're voting and how you're supporting. But anyways, I'm going to move on to the next caller, but I hope you have a good day, all right?
Yeah, man.
All right. Bye. All right, we're going to move on to the next person. Release the files, hell yeah. Gorilla, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Said, can we just have these people try to go to any clinic to be treated without their IDs and no proof of insurance? Go pretend to be an undocumented immigrant. Yeah, I would love that. I would absolutely love. That's a Gorilla. W's a chat for Gorilla for this super chat. Sorry, like I read it all the way through, and then it took my brain a second to catch up to what you're saying. 100%. This is great. I wish MAGA could go without an ID, without a passport, okay? Without anything, and go sign up for Medicaid. Go lurch up. Show me the problems with the system. Go do it. Please and thank you. Let me know how that works out for you, okay? Go get SNAP benefits with no ID, no passport, no nothing. I shouldn't even let you use your smartphone because these migrants usually aren't coming over here with smartphones either. Let's see how far you get. Huh? Let's see how far you get. Biggest W's in the chat to Gorilla. That's no offense to the rest of y'all super chats. That was probably the best super chat I've gotten in a long time. That is really good. That is really, really good. Thank you so much for that. Lovely. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Said his failure to buy a nice car must mean his neighbors are illegal. Bro. Bro, the first thing I thought about when I just read that is the player haters ball. Doesn't Charlie Murphy say that in the player haters ball? Or he's like, or somebody says it in there where he's like, like, why you got 2 cars? I should have 2 cars. I want 2 cars. Hate. Like just straight hating, bro. Just straight hating. My neighbors have better cars than me. They must be illegals getting Medicaid. That was literally what he said. That was literally what he said. Thank you so much, Lovely. I didn't even catch that. That was so good. Luke is back on it. Paulie, can we get a link to the undocumented free luxury car program caller mentioned? I think it's on I don't remember where I have to sign up through it for. It's a new program. It was a new program under the Biden administration. Yeah, free luxury cars for undocumented immigrants. Yeah. As soon as you come over undocumented, they just hand you the keys to a new Beamer. Like right off the bat. Thank you so much, Luca. That's great. And James says, this guy is not living in reality. What the fuck is going on? He was to be the nice guy but support evil. I don't understand. He got so I don't know what that last part was. That was very, very weird. All right, we're about to move to the next caller. Please make sure you hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. I will post the link to the luxury car program in my Discord. Y'all, if you guys like support the live, please consider becoming a member or super fan. That is a great way to do it. And I really appreciate you. Also, as you guys have seen, I like to keep the super chats in between callers and all that sort of stuff. So if you'd like to send super chats or anything like that, it's really fun. I also have all my pay links in my bio, so that's another great way to support. So I really appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. How old are you?
Were you in the Navy?
How old are you?
No, I'm asking you, were you in the Navy?
Yeah, you don't get to ask me anything until you answer my question.
I'm old enough to know better.
All right. Well, if you're not going to give me an age, then you don't need to be here. So have a wonderful day, okay?
Wait a minute, man. I think I know.
Hello, how are you? Hello?
Hi.
Hi. How old are you?
I'm 22.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Yeah, support him. He's doing a very great work, honestly.
Okay. Why do we keep shooting boats in Venezuela, boats in the Caribbean? Why do we keep doing that?
What's wrong?
Why do we keep shooting at speedboats?
I mean, that's just the military stuff. All military do stuff like that.
No, the military has never shot down speedboats in the Caribbean.
I mean, they've done a lot of shady shit before, so what's it make this shady shit any different?
Oh, so you do admit that it's shady, and and Donald Trump is authorizing it and supporting it?
Yeah, every single president. I mean, remember, Obama bombed the wedding, so why can't Trump have a little fun too?
You think it's fun killing innocent people?
No, it's just what the military does.
You literally just said it's fun. That's literally what you just said.
I'm saying in a rhetorical sense, but whatever.
That's not a rhetorical question. That rhetorical doesn't fit that. Do you know what the word like rhetorical means?
Mm-hmm.
What's it mean?
It means that you meant it in a context that is not in the original context.
Incorrect.
No, well. Anyways, want me to go over what I think about supporting Trump is good?
No, it sounds like you're kind of a sick, weird person.
Nah.
Well, I mean, you literally just advocated for the killing of innocent people as fun. It's very strange.
I didn't say I advocated. I'm just saying I can't stop anything about it.
You can't stop anything about anything. You're probably very insignificant, but that doesn't mean that whether you should be supporting or not. You said Trump's doing great things. I want to know what you feel about him just killing innocent people like that.
I can't stop it. The military kills innocent people. I mean, like, you saying Trump is killing innocent people. Okay, what about all the other presidents who authorized in killing innocent people? It's like he's a dime a dozen to all the other presidents.
Gotcha. So again, you think this is okay?
It's a president military action. I can't stop it.
Okay.
I mean,
well, what
like
can you stop?
I mean, I could stop. I could focus on bettering myself. That way,
That sounds like a good plan for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. That is where your focus should be.
Yes.
Is making yourself
But-
better, because you obviously have been lacking in that specific area in your life.
Okay, but why do you say that? Are you saying it's my political views?
I don't know what your political views are, except for calling for, our military shooting at random boats in the Caribbean and killing innocent people fun. Besides that, I don't really know much about your political views.
Actually fun though.
But I don't really
It was a
know what the
sarcastic
point of
quote.
having your political views is if your entire point of political view is I can't stop it, and it doesn't sound like you can stop anything when it comes to politics. So if that's going to be
but
your
you wanna
stance
know
on
how
things
I
you
feel
don't
about
like,
it?
then I don't know why we're even having a conversation.
I can tell you what I could think about Trump truly though.
Yeah, I didn't say I was interested.
All right. So how I see it is.
No, I said you didn't
If
hear
Trump
me
is
say
doing
I was
all this-
interested.
So if Trump is doing all this,
All right. Well, I just muted you because, like I said, I'm not interested. All right. All right. So I hope you have a wonderful day, okay?
oh man, I'm kidding.
All right, we're going to move on to the next caller. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Hello, how are you?
All right, I'm 50 years old.
Congratulations. That's a big
So,
number.
were you in
that's
the Navy?
No.
You never? You look
Oh,
familiar.
wow.
Rick.
You know what? I did forget about all that time I spent in the Navy. No, I've never been in the Navy, man.
Oh, okay. Well, okay.
Hello, how are you?
Hey, I'm great.
Awesome. How old are you?
Hello?
Hi, how old are you?
Oh, I'm 60.
Awesome. Do you support Trump?
And I'm watching you on live, but apparently it must be a delay thing going on, right?
There is a delay. Do you support Trump?
No.
All right. Well, that's very good, man. But I am only looking for Trump supporters right now, so I do have to let you go. All right.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh no,
I
you're
just wanna
fine.
say, hey, you're doing great, and I'm out there commenting all the time.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate
Feel free to
that.
call in, and yes.
Who is this? So I can pay attention.
You
So I can
rock
check out your
on,
comments.
dude. You rock on. Okay,
All right. Who are you in the comments? So I know who to look for.
Roxy Barone.
Oh, okay.
Roxy Barone.
All right. I'll keep an eye out for your comments in there. You keep going for those comments. All right.
You damn right I am.
All
I'm
right.
60 and I'm experienced, and you know what? I have wisdom. Thank you for taking my phone call, and I'm so sorry that I wasn't a part of your show.
No,
I'm
you're
so
probably
sorry.
have a good one. She was sweet. She was sweet. Hello, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. How old are you?
27.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Yeah, because Israel is our greatest ally, and I believe that we need to defend them and support them.
What
And
makes them our greatest
we need to give
ally?
them more money.
What makes them our greatest ally?
The fact that scrotum.
Well, that digressed quickly. Interesting. That went that went probably evenly as well as I thought it was going to go. I was curious. Nobody's, just trying to see if he was able to articulate that. Hello, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
I'm doing great. How old are you?
Sorry, 1 second here. Yeah, I'm 31.
Oh, awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Yeah, I still do actually.
All right. What's on your mind?
Hey, well, I guess I don't know how to really start this actually. So I guess my question is to you is like, what are you trying to prove out of all of this exactly?
Nothing.
Okay. So just to kind of give you the general answer. The reason why I support Trump and what kind of got me hooked onto it is just the fact that the economy is in shambles, and it has been in shambles for many years, right? Obviously, when COVID happened, it got even worse, right? But granted, it's like inflation's constantly been rising for like years. So I think it's kind of, I don't want to say immoral, but it doesn't seem right to kind of just blame it all on one guy. I think Trump is doing his best, and he's trying to keep the money in the country and not trying to get it out. If that makes any sense.
It does not.
Does not. Okay. So you go ahead and tell me, why do you, disagree with me?
Well, my question is, how is he trying to keep money in the country?
Well, he's trying to promote companies to keep taxpayer dollars in the country, right?
How?
I understand. Huh?
How is he doing that?
How is he doing that? To be honest, I'm not a lawyer, so I can't sit here and tell you all
He
this
sent
stuff
$20
because-
billion to Argentina.
You said what now? Sorry.
He just sent $20 billion to Argentina.
Okay. I know we're trying to talk facts and stuff, but I'm not a factual person. I like to think logically about this stuff, right?
Did you say I'm not a factual person, but I'm trying to think logically?
No, I'm saying in general, right? Everyone's always talking about the facts, but let's just think logically, right? For example, there was a gentleman on here, he was talking about how he came to this country through the legal process. My parents were the same individuals that kind of went through the same thing as well. I'm a firstborn American citizen, right? So first generation here, and I was actually able to benefit off of this country by technically kind of keeping my head down low and just working, right? But I kind of agree with them too. I think that one, there are illegal immigrants that are actually getting Medicare, and they are actually getting using taxpayer dollars for their benefit. And I know you're saying it's not out there, and yes, you need to provide document. That is completely false, though. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you that right now because my grandmother, she was never a U.S. citizen, but I'm telling you, she definitely got a lot of freaking a lot of freaking surgeries done, right? And we didn't pay for a cent of it. I'm gonna tell you that right now. So,
Sir, first of all, there's a big difference between being an undocumented immigrant and being a U.S. citizen.
Yes, she was never a U.S. citizen.
Yeah, there's tons of people that aren't U.S. citizens that get benefits. That is not what I said. I said undocumented immigrants. There is a lot of things in between undocumented immigrant, okay, and U.S. citizen. There's temporary legal status. There's permanent legal status. There's residency. There's permanent residency. There's different visa programs. There is all sorts of different type of programs where people can have a legal status in the United States without being a U.S. citizen. And those people do qualify for certain levels of benefits, depending on what state they're in and what status that they have. Okay. So I assume your grandmother was probably a permanent resident. That's what it sounds like.
No, she wasn't. She was a refugee, actually.
Oh, well, there you go. People under refugee status can get certain government benefits.
Yeah, I understand that. But the thing is, it's what's the point of paying for these benefits, right? If the citizen, or I guess not citizen, but if the immigrant is going to return back to their country. Because, for example, I'm just going to tell you, my ethnicity is black, right? My family's from Africa, right? And so.
Did you say your ethnicity is black?
Yeah, African.
Where the fuck is black?
But you know what I'm trying to say. I don't know why you're trying to tweak it. You know what I'm trying to say. Why are you doing extra stuff?
I'm sorry. I was trying to use logic instead of facts. My bad.
Okay. Well, anyways. So the thing is, it's they came over here, right? And they all kind of made their money, whatever it is. Now a lot of them are looking back to retire, to go home, right? Now, granted, it's yeah, I guess it's your money. You worked hard for it. You pay your taxes in the country, whatever. You can do whatever, right? But does it logically make sense for my grandmother, for example, to come to the country, kind of reap those benefits, and then say, hey, I never worked an actual job. I made money here and there, babysitting, and now here I am going to go back to my country and die there.
I don't care where people want to go. Why would that change anything for me?
But do you think you should pay for something like that? Just yes or no?
Pay for what? Pay for people to have medical care? Yes.
Yes. So my grandmother, she just comes to the country.
Yes. The answer is yes. Yes. People should have health care. Health care is a human right. People should have health care.
I definitely believe in human rights. I think everybody should have the right to have a good life. But does it logically make sense for for somebody else to pay money, or for you to pay money for somebody else's like problems.
We don't. Migrants pay for their own.
Do they really?
Yes, just last year,
why do we have-
in the last calculated year, which was 2022, undocumented immigrants paid almost $100 billion or something in taxes. They paid $22 million into Social Security.
You said
Yeah.
right? Migrants got some level of what I guess like rights, right? I mean,
I'm
my
saying they
grandmother-
pay. I'm saying they pay money into the governmental system, money that they can't get out of. They can't get, right. They pay into things like Social Security, and they're not, even documented immigrants are not eligible to receive Social Security, right? But they pay into Social Security, right? They pay for themselves. The taxes that immigrants pay in this country pay for their own medical care, pay for their own benefits, plus a whole bunch of other money.
Okay, and how about you? Don't you pay for that too?
Yes, but I can benefit from it. When I pay into Social Security, one day I should be able to collect Social Security, when I'm of age. That is, if Donald Trump hasn't drained it to add a second ballroom to the White House or something like that.
I was about to say, last I heard, Social Security was, I think they were saying that they were running out of money for Social Security. Last I heard.
Yeah, again, but that has nothing to do with what I'm saying, sir. I actually reap the benefits of that, right? And I have no problem paying a certain level of tax dollars to make sure society as a whole, I have no problem whatsoever with society as a whole propping up people that need it. I think that's a good thing.
I mean, yeah, I don't disagree with you at all on that part, but like at the same time, it's like I don't think it should be a country's responsibility to make sure that everyone is financially set,
What's making them financially set?
I mean, don't you think that you should have a game plan your future out, invest your money into?
What government program is making people financially set?
I beg your pardon?
What government program is making people financially set?
I don't know about government programs. Dude, I'm talking about like you using your own like wits and your own smart to pull yourself up. Like, don't you think that it would make more sense for you to put your money into some sort of like 401k or stocks or something like that? Why are you solely relying on the government to be your source of income?
Who's doing that? Who's doing that?
People that haven't saved up money for retirement. What do you mean?
What is this? What are we talking? Did I miss a part of this conversation? Was there a part of this conversation that like went over my head and like I just like completely missed it?
We're just talking about stuff here. You're asking me why I support Trump. I mean, these are all things that I'm all for, and I feel like Trump just encourages that type of behavior. I mean, the thing is like if you have like someone like Biden, him in office, or whenever Democrats in office, there's a lot of like, hey, don't worry, we'll take care of you, right? But that's not what we should be promoting as a society. We should be kind of
when did the Biden administration say, just hang on, we'll take care of you? When did they say that?
I'm not saying that's what they say, but that's what they encourage.
How do they encourage that?
They encourage it by saying like, hey, we're going to dump more money into Social Security. We're going to try to keep your Medicare. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. But
we pay for Social Security. That's not the government take care of it. We pay that. We pay into our own Social Security.
Yeah, no, we
I
pay
pay for Social Security my whole life. And then at the end, I can receive money from Social Security when we're done. That's not a government just handing money. I pay for it, then I get it.
That is the government handing money. It's paid in your taxes.
Gotcha. So then you must think a 401k is also the bank just handing you money.
No, 401k is not that. 401k is an investment. That's two different things.
Gotcha. If I pay a bank money my whole life, and then when I get ready to retire, they give me my money back, then that's an investment. But if I pay the government money my whole life, and then they give me my money back when I retire, then that's a government handout. Did I get that correct?
So if you give money to a bank, right, it's two ways to do it. You can put it in there as a savings account, whatever, or you can actually invest your money. They can buy stocks, all that other stuff. That's what I'm talking about. When we're talking about 401k, that's where I'm kind of like heading, right? But when you give the money to the government, you're just paying it for other people to use it. Because the thing is, realistically, like God forbid, like if something that happened to you right now, you never get to see that.
Something were to happen to me right now, I'd also never get to see a 401k.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But like the thing is,
because I'd be dead.
Yeah, but the 401k, at least you got your money in there, and if something happens to you, you can like will it out or whatever, right? You can make your wife like the co-owner, or I don't know the right terms for it, but like she gets the benefits, right? You're not just leaving nothing behind.
So that's what life insurance is for.
Yeah, I mean that's if you get life insurance, but yeah, that's what it's for too. But what I'm just saying is like, I mean, does it make sense for you to be paying it to Social Security? Like, I mean, especially if you're not gonna like reap the benefits of it potentially.
Sir, is this an argument about the efficacy of Social Security? Because I don't really understand what we're talking about.
That's all we're doing.
That's definitely all you're doing. Doesn't seem like much of a point to it. I don't even know where in this conversation where I don't even know what the hell we're talking about anymore. I'm completely confused. You have just yapped and rambled your way all the way off the edge of the earth.
Well, I just asked you before too. I was like, "Hey, what's the purpose of this conversation?" And you told me, "Would you say like I don't know?"
Yeah, it sounds like you just don't like your life or something, man. It sounds like you're just.
Oh, I love it, dude.
Yeah, it sounds like you just need to. I don't know.
You and I grass, and I was just like, "Wow, this is crazy." So yeah, I mean, look, think about it, man. You're home, you're doing this for a living, I think, or maybe this is like part of your income, but you're doing something. Like, I mean, I'm chilling, man.
I tell you, I don't get paid enough doing this to hear this conversation. I'll tell you that much.
That's cool.
I need a raise.
Well, go ahead and work harder. You might get that raise.
I need something extra. This. I don't even know how much I've made today, but I'll tell you, it is not enough to cover this. I'll tell you that much.
And then I can bounce or whatever.
What's that?
Do you want to talk about like a specific topic? One more topic so we can just kind of keep things on track, and then I can bounce after that. Is there anything that you want to... I mean, if I know it, I'll talk to you about it. But if I don't, I'm not gonna be ignorant.
No, I think we're good, man. I think I know. I think I'm gonna use my logic, not my facts. I think I'm gonna use my logic to move on to the next person.
All right, brother. Well,
All
thanks
right.
for taking my call.
Yeah, have a good one.
Bye.
All right. Oh man, I wish there was more than just coffee in that cup. All right. Sorry, I just like brain rotted there. Gorilla, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Said, Paulie, stop using facts. You should be only using logic. Do better, right? Like, do better. What was I doing using facts instead of logic? All this time, all these years, I've been using facts instead of logic, and I can't. Just so horrible. Anyways, thank you, Gorilla. Thank you so much. 6 says, I'm crying. Oh my God, sorry, I was trying to use logic instead of facts. Yo, please make sure you hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Thanks, 6. I'm sorry. I sit here laughing my ass off. We just do our best, okay? I'm just sitting over here, all facts, no logic. All right. Thank you so much, 6 and Gorilla. I really appreciate that. And yeah, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. That is very, very sweet. Thank you so much. And Jimmy says that Dwayne Johnson 2028. You know what? I'll that's fine. I'll take The Rock over Trump. I'll tell you that much. Big W chat for everybody who donated. I really appreciate y'all. We're gonna go on to the next caller. Keep this thing going. I think we're gonna keep this thing going. It's been getting kind of weird. I'm not sure, but I also might just have a headache. Y'all, as you guys have seen, if you guys would like to support the live, I do super chats. Please consider becoming a member, or possibly even gifting memberships if you'd like to support the live, or super fans. I don't know if you can gift super fans. I'm not sure how that works, but I guess you can do that now. Anyways. Do the things and the stuff. Love you. Hello, how are you? I'd rather vote for Flavor Flav is wild. Hello?
Hello?
Hi, how are you?
Is this Poly Politics?
Yes, it is. All right, get it. Hold on. Is this the person that's been chirping over here? There's somebody in my chat that's just been chirping. Oh yeah, hold on. 1 second. I'll open the phone line again in a second. I think there's someone in my chat that's just been chirping, bro. I think it's you. I'm gonna pull you up because I think you've just been chirping in this chat over here, and I want to bring you up if you have been.
Hi.
Hi.
How are I guess I'm the one that's chirping.
I'm not sure. Are you?
Yes.
Oh well, then yeah. What's on your mind? Seems like you
So
got seems like you got a lot of issues going on this morning.
I don't have issues. I have issues with some of your point of views. Yes.
Mm.
Say for illegal immigrants. And I would appreciate it if you don't like try to cut me off like you did with other people because
I don't care what you'd appreciate. Just move on with your point.
Okay. So right there is my point. The way you're behaving.
Ma'am, you're the one who's been sitting in my live, typing your little fingers off. And
You asked, why do we still support Trump, but yet you won't let anyone speak?
You know what's a cool thing? Okay. You could have left whenever you wanted. All right.
Right, but
this
when
is
you're
a free
asking
country.
someone, why
you
do
have
you
sat
support
here.
Trump?
You have
Did you
sat
ask
here.
that question? Did
you
you ask
have
that
sat
question?
here. Not to you yet.
It's right here on your live. Why do you support Trump?
Yeah, I can read it.
Right
I put
here.
it there.
So that's
Yeah.
a question. Is that right or
I
wrong?
spelled it out. I didn't have to sound out words or anything
Is
like
it a
Trump.
question?
Okay.
Is it a question?
Well, if you can see, like right there. Hold on this side. Sorry, it's backwards.
It doesn't
Right?
say, why do you support Trump? Don't ask the question.
Okay.
You ask
There's
a
a question mark over there. It's
Right.
over there. Yeah, that's how
So
you
what
know
is
it's a
that?
question. Okay.
Right. I'm glad you
But you know what it
realized
doesn't
it's a
say up
question.
there?
That you typed.
Do you know what it doesn't say up there?
So let's just get
Ma'am,
right
ma'am,
to the
ma'am,
point.
ma'am,
I'm
ma'am,
not
ma'am,
worried
ma'am,
about
ma'am,
what
ma'am,
your
ma'am,
question
ma'am.
is.
You know what it doesn't say up there?
That you could be rude.
You're right. It doesn't say that. It also doesn't say, please come up with my live and whine about my attitude.
I'm not whining about your
Okay.
attitude.
So that part's unnecessary.
You asked me why did I come into your live?
No, I just asked you what's up, actually.
No, that's not what you said, but okay.
Oh.
We will agree to disagree. So about the illegal immigrants, I hear that you're chirping, like you said, that you agree with having illegal immigrants coming over here illegally.
I literally said the exact opposite of that.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I literally specifically said
You're
that
talking
we need
about
to have better border patrol, we need to have better border protections, and that we need to have a better, more secure border. I actually specifically said that.
Okay, well, I know you specifically also said that the military was shooting at these fast boats in the Caribbean. Yes, but you failed to say that they also found drugs, fentanyl, and everything else on those boats.
Gotcha. So let me ask you a question then. All right.
Absolutely.
Awesome. If you are like, if the police are walking down the street and they find someone with narcotics on them, should they be able to shoot them at will?
No, they stop. Are these boats stopping? No, they're not. You have to follow the law.
Oh, gotcha. So let me ask you a question. If police find someone with drugs on them standing on the corner of a street, and those people turn around and run away, are they then allowed to shoot them in the back?
Not shoot them in the back.
Oh,
No.
Gotcha. So what you're saying is
Can I
according to
ask
the
you a
U.S.
question?
law, we can't
Are you
just
telling
shoot
me these
people for
on the
having
boats-
drugs.
Are you telling? But if that person that's running from the cops has a gun, yes, shoot them.
No, if they're pointing that gun at
Absolutely.
you, you can shoot them.
I'm
Or they
saying these
attempt to do it.
Are you telling me these people on the boats that's bringing the drugs over here to the United States don't have guns?
Ma'am, we don't even have proof that they have drugs.
Yes, you do.
No, they asked
states
Donald Trump
that
about
they-
it. Did you not see that interview?
You look it up. They
Yeah,
said
I
that
did.
they found fentanyl and coke on those boats.
Ma'am, did you listen to what Donald Trump said when they asked him about it?
I read.
Well, you should look up the interview. It's very good. Okay, it's one of my favorite interviews, and I love listening to Trump interviews because they're They're great. Number one is still sounding out acetaminophen like a 5-year-old on television. That's still my favorite. But right behind it, okay, they asked him, they're like, hey, what intelligence and like what evidence do you have, all right, that these boats have drugs on them? And his response was, look at the screen. It was an infrared screen. He said, look at the screen. You see all that white stuff right there? That must be the drugs. That's our evidence, okay? Not understanding that in an infrared camera, the white is a heat signature, all right? And
So
Coke
you're telling me
just
you're
in a
telling me-
package isn't hot.
You're trying to tell me and your listeners that there was no drugs on those boats.
I don't know whether there was drugs in those boats.
It's stated that they found drugs on those boats.
Ma'am, they
Let me put it
state
this way.
things all the
Do you
time. I want
support- Here you go.
evidence.
Here you go. Do you support someone getting in their car, driving 100 miles down the road, not stopping when a police officer is trying to stop you?
No, I do not support that.
Okay, so what is the difference if you're on a boat and the Coast Guards or whoever is trying to, the military is trying to stop the boats and they keep going?
You know what else I don't support?
A lot, I see.
A drone flying over that car and shooting it with a missile.
A drone flying. Okay, if the car's not stopping, what would you do? You have to follow the law. There has to be consequences.
Yeah. If someone runs away from the cops, okay, I do not
Just let
support
them
that.
go?
I do not support that. I
But what's the
also
difference within a boat or a
I also don't support that car being blown up because they ran away from the cops. You see the difference? Do I support if there's drug boats out there and they're running away from the Coast Guard or whoever's out there, right? If they're running away, I don't support that. I believe the Coast Guard should be able to stop I believe the Coast Guard should be able to chase them. I believe the Coast Guard should be able to stop them if they're actually within, US waters where there's actually jurisdiction, which this is not where that's happening, by the way, because you can't, again, going back to your cop scenario, if that boat runs away and is out of runs from California to Nevada, California cops can't stop that person anymore. I'd have to go to Nevada cops. And that's exactly what we're doing because we're in international waters that are 2,000 miles away from the US coast. So therefore, we don't even have jurisdiction, okay, to make that stop. But let's pretend that we did have jurisdiction in that. I believe that the Coast Guard or whoever should be able to chase down that boat and stop that boat. And once they stop that boat, then we can actually see if there actually are drugs and weapons on there. And if there are, I think that we
stop the boat when they all have guns on the boat. What would you do? Hey, excuse me, pull over. They know they need to stop. They continue to go.
Ma'am, where is your proof that there was guns on the boat?
Oh my goodness. You're going to tell me the cartel that's carrying drugs on the boat.
Where's your proof that they were
guns?
cartel?
Come on now.
Where's your proof that they were the cartel?
The proof is once they stopped the boat, they got the drugs off.
They didn't stop the boat. They blew up the boat and it sank.
Do you not think that the cartels also blows up their own boats to sink their drugs themselves?
I'm sure they do.
They do.
What does that have to do with what we're talking
So
about?
what's your proof that the military did it?
Because the military said they did it?
Oh, okay. So then that's my proof.
I saw video of it doing it.
No, you did not.
Yes, they did. They played it on television.
You didn't see inside the boat and who was on there and if they
You're
were having
right.
guns.
I didn't
No,
see
you
inside
did
the
not.
boat. I didn't see what was in there. I would love the proof from that because that's your claim. But I did see the boat get blown up. So I know that
So
happened.
what do you suggest if someone is having, and you think that they are in a boat, right? They have guns.
I'm on a boat.
Or don't have a gun and they're flying and not pulling over. What would you do?
I would let them do it because it's not international. We're not in
Oh,
U.S.
so
jurisdiction.
You would keep them. So you want to keep the American citizens safe from these people trying to come over with drugs
Ma'am.
and guns. You would just let them go.
No, ma'am. I would not
That's nice.
shoot down boats that do not have
So
the fuel.
what would
Ma'am,
you
listen. I would not shoot down boats that are 2,000 miles away from the United States, okay, that are not anywhere near U.S. jurisdiction, that don't even have the fuel to have the ability to even reach the United States, okay? So therefore, we have no idea where they're headed, okay? And
You don't think they're meeting someone?
And I sure as hell wouldn't do it unless I had concrete proof, all right, that there was actually stuff on the boat and it was actually headed here, which again, none of that has
asking
been
you,
provided.
You're avoiding the question. I'm just asking you, how would you stop the boat if they do not stop.
I
You
wouldn't
just let them
because
go.
we don't have the ability to just stop every fucking boat on the whole planet.
There is a law. It's called the law.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What law is that?
Come on now. You have to listen
what law is that?
You have to listen to law enforcement.
Yeah, you do have to listen to law enforcement. If you're in the United States.
Oh,
they're
right.
not in the United States.
So
I don't know if you know this or not. I don't know if you know this or not. I don't know if you know this or not. Like, say you go to like France, right? If you're a cop in the United States and you go to France, you don't get to go to France, right? And stop people in France just because you're a cop in the United States. Did you know that?
That's obvious. You're not allowed to do that if you're an Anne Arundel cop versus another county cop.
Then why does the U.S. military have the ability to stop someone in a country that's not ours?
The military is different than the cops.
Right. So why does the military have the ability to stop someone in a country that's not ours?
Because they're military.
Nope. That's not an answer at all.
Excuse me. They're laying their lives down for people like me and for people like you.
Oh, I very much support our military. That doesn't answer my question at all. What jurisdiction does the military have to stop a boat not in the U.S.?
I answered you.
Yeah. The correct answer is they don't. Okay? They don't have any jurisdiction in international waters to stop a boat that they suspect of a crime that's only a crime in the U.S., and they're not in the U.S.
Bringing drugs over.
Right. That is a crime in the U.S.
It's a crime also in their country. You can't go and do drugs.
Yes, and if their country had wanted to stop them, then their country could. Okay? But see, their country would probably require things like evidence.
Do you think so?
I would think so. It's surprising our country doesn't.
No, a lot of their policy and their leaders are corrupted too.
Oh, gotcha. Well, then we should just go into whatever country we think are corrupted and then just do whatever we want.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying when they're bringing drugs over and they're not listening to the military to stop so they can, if they weren't doing anything wrong,
no proof of drugs.
Why wouldn't they stop?
No proof of drugs.
Why wouldn't they stop?
Nope. I don't know. Why, ma'am, if some random person just started chasing behind me, would I stop?
Not random.
Ma'am, if I drove my car behind you, okay, and told you to stop, would you stop?
And you're a police officer or military?
You don't know who I am. You don't know who I am.
I don't think. Then you shouldn't be driving if you don't know.
I shouldn't be driving.
Law. If you don't know the law and the difference between law enforcement, you're right. Don't drive.
Oh, gotcha. So again, a boat sees a random boat. Okay.
Military boat.
Who's military?
Okay. You don't think they introduce?
Okay. Let me just make this clear. I'll just make this clear because this is a ridiculous fucking argument. Okay.
It is. It is ridiculous.
U.S. law, ma'am. Shh.
Bring drugs over. Right.
Shh. U.S. law only applies within the jurisdiction of the United States. Okay, there is no enforcement capability, okay, because drug interdiction would fall under law enforcement, not under military action. Okay, military action is dealt with by Congress, by the Geneva Convention, by all of those things. Stopping drugs is a law enforcement act. It's not a military act. Okay, and law enforcement acts only apply for the jurisdiction in which that law exists, right? So within the U.S. borders and U.S. waters, okay? If someone was bringing in a boat into U.S. waters, then that's a whole different conversation. Then the U.S. Coast Guard does have the jurisdiction within those waters, okay? And they have the right to pull over anyone within those waters. And if the person ran, then they do actually have an ability to stop them in using force. Okay, within U.S. international waters.
I'm glad you feel that way.
That's not what I feel. That's the law. That's the law. Okay, that's the law.
Illegal immigrant coming over here to
stop. No. I know you want to pivot real hard. I'm going to go ahead and finish. And then you can pivot if you like, okay? I'm going to go ahead and finish my sentence, and then if you'd like to pivot, I'll let you, okay?
Absolutely.
Okay, perfect. So that is the law within the borders of the United States. We do not get to go into international waters or into the waters of another country to enforce our laws because our laws don't apply there, okay? Second of all right, even if our laws did apply to that, okay, we would need things like evidence, which has not been provided, okay? And even on top of that, the only way they would be able to use lethal force is if they freaking like actually attacked back, right? So if they actually start shooting or threatened to shoot people that were actually, doing the law enforcement act, which again is not happening because these boats, our military boats aren't even getting close enough to the boats in order for them to attack. We're just shooting at them without giving them any ability, without giving them any chance to surrender whatsoever. Okay, there's a possibility we tried to pull them over and they just stopped and put their hands up and went, "Yep, our fault. We're bad," but we're not giving them that chance because we're just killing them before we even get that chance.
And where do you get that fact from?
From the videos where you can see
Oh,
that
so
we're
the
nowhere.
videos.
The video
Where?
that Pete Hegseth played.
Okay. And it shows that we did not try to verbally tell them to stop. Or nothing?
Verbally, we're just yelling over thousands of miles of water.
You get on a
Hey,
mic.
please.
So you're saying
Hey,
from a far
hey,
distance they can't see the boat. Right?
Venezuelans that probably don't speak my language. Hello, please stop. I know
Okay.
I know you're way over there in
You're
the
getting
water.
you're getting
Please
worked
stop.
up.
Please
You're getting
stop.
worked up.
Thank you.
That's what the
Thank
left
you,
does.
guys.
They get worked up just like
Appreciate
this.
it.
With name calling like me racist. I'm not racist for one. I have like that's just bizarre. Like stop with the comments.
Well,
over
I'll
there.
let you know I didn't call you racist, but hey,
Now
I
I'm
mean, if
reading
the
some of
shoe
the-
fits and
Hey.
you want to freaking call yourself that, that's
the shoe doesn't fit whatsoever.
Oh, I'm just saying, you're the one who brought it up.
I'm fostering a little girl that's mixed. So,
Oh,
no, the shoe doesn't
tokenization.
fit.
Tokenization.
What?
That's like, do you also
No, I
have a
love
black
her.
friend?
No, I love her. I have many.
You have many black.
Many.
Oh, okay. Since we're tokenizing, I just figured,
I mean, do you have white friends?
Hmm?
Are you racist?
No, I don't have white friends.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, right. I'm not going to go there. I mean, I'm just being, I'm not going to sit there and act like a child and say, oh, she, like some of your viewers are, oh, she's racist, Karen, like grow up. I'm just giving my point of view on, and that's why we live in America, because everyone has their freedom of speech. And if you don't like it, hey, there's always planes. Get on it.
Yeah. Except for Donald Trump is actively trying to take away our freedom of speech.
You can get on a plane and fly on out.
Hold up. But you said we have freedom of speech. Donald Trump doesn't believe that.
How do you figure he doesn't?
Well, he just had his second federal injunction on him violating the First Amendment.
He might, but how? I mean, I don't know where you're getting that from. Freedom of speech. You're saying right now, if you didn't have freedom of speech, you wouldn't be sitting on TikTok.
Yeah, but I didn't say whether I have it or whether I'm supposed to have it. Donald Trump is trying to stop people from having it.
Oh, he's trying to stop everyone from talking.
Well, not everyone, just people he doesn't like what they're saying.
Oh, just like social media did, and when they during the election. But we won't even go there. I mean, it's
Just like
you know
social
what?
media did during the election. Are you talking
Yeah,
about during
or,
COVID?
or the ballots where they threw
What
them
ballot?
away?
Yeah, that was debunked very clearly.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was. There was actually over 60 different investigations and court cases. Yeah, including 3 done by private organizations directly hired by the Trump organization. And they all proved that was false also.
I mean, I could see, like, I could see some of the Democrats' point of views, and I can see, I'm a Republican. I support Trump. Yes, I could see, both sides' point of views because I'm also an open-minded person. And but the bottom line is, with all of it, what mostly I cannot stand is when someone disrespects our president. I don't care if you support them or not, or the flag.
You mean like Donald Trump did the entire time Biden was president, or like the entire Republican Party did when they found out that Biden had cancer, and the horrific things I heard about, about him and against his family and all that sort of stuff? You mean literally
Yeah,
4
that's awful.
straight years
No, that's
of the
awful.
horrific things that freaking people said about Joe Biden, who was a public servant? But hold on, you say it's awful, yet you support the person that did it.
No,
you don't
I
get
didn't-
to have it both ways. If you
No,
have
no.
a problem with the disrespect disrespect of the president, then why did you vote for someone who was disrespecting the president?
Or you're saying that they didn't disrespect Donald Trump either?
Ma'am, it wasn't my opinion. I don't think that the president deserves anything. He's a public servant. This is your opinion.
I said the president should deserve respect, right? Absolutely.
And why does the president deserve respect?
He's our president.
So what?
Oh, okay. So, all right.
You-
Just like the flag. I guess you.
Do you know who Teddy Roosevelt
I guess
is?
You don't support the American flag either. Or do you?
Support the flag. The flag is a flag.
Yeah, like no, the flag is more than just a
No,
flag. I
it's
guess
just a
you're
flag.
the type of person that would just go out there and wave it and then let people, catch it on fire.
Me personally, I would never freaking catch a flag on
Do
fire.
you support that?
I support free speech, and burning the flag is protected under the First Amendment.
Well, burning the flag the right way is the way that you.
No,
get rid of
burning the
the
flag just in general, burning the flag as protest is protected under the First Amendment.
So you're okay with that?
No, I'm personally not okay with
Okay,
it.
okay.
There is a difference between certain things that I would personally do and I would be okay with, while also respecting someone else's ability to do that. Not everything is about me, okay? Like I'll give you
I
an
agree.
example. I'll give you an example, okay?
You don't need to. I understand.
Yeah, I very
get
much
it.
respect people's ability to practice their own religion in this country. I believe
Right.
that Christians, Muslims, whoever, Pastafarians, whoever, should be able to, exercise their freedom of religion in this
Absolutely, I
country.
agree with that
But
too.
I'm an atheist. Okay, so just because it doesn't directly apply to me doesn't mean that I don't believe in other people's rights to do it.
Right.
That's
Same here.
that exact same way when it comes to burning the flag. I would never do it because I have respect for the flag when it comes to that. But if other people want to do it in protest, I also support their ability to exercise their freedom of protest.
I have friends that are here that are illegal immigrants, and I really adore them. And if anything, I'm trying to get them to do it the right way so they can stay. But you have to follow the law. I mean, it's a law.
Yeah, but Donald Trump didn't follow the law. He's a felon 34 times. But you still support him. Donald Trump's a felon, and illegal entry into this country is a Class C misdemeanor, right?
Are you trying to say that you feel Donald Trump has done nothing good?
Done nothing good? No, he did a couple things good.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, Operation Warp Speed was excellent. It's unfortunate that he was the one that freaking actually made it not work as well.
How do you feel? I can't. You know what? I can't recall. I remember watching it on the news, but it was when he was giving the speech, and that little boy stood up. Do you remember watching that on TV? And the little boy stood up, and they gave him a badge. And the Democrats all didn't applaud him or anything.
You do realize that Donald Trump was giving him a badge while simultaneously cutting cancer research?
I'm saying it doesn't. You know what?
He
that
gave
little
a-
boy,
he-
you
he
think
gave a-
that mattered?
He gave a badge
stand
to a
up
kid
and
with
clap.
he gave a badge to a kid with cancer while literally ripping cancer research away from that kid, something that actually could have saved his life. He used that kid as a propaganda tool. Okay? And that's sad.
then-
okay? That's
Okay.
sad.
So why isn't it sad though that the Democrats couldn't cheer or clap for him? That's what's sad.
Ma'am,
That's what I'm
I
talking
don't really care who cheers and
okay.
claps for someone. That really
Okay.
doesn't mean much to me at all. Okay? What I
it was
care
the
is that kid
Democrats that sat
what I
down
care
to not
is that kid has the best chance to live, and Donald Trump is stopping that.
Oh, okay. All right. If that's I guess everyone, like we said, we can just agree to disagree on some things. And some of the things, you know what, I will say some of the things that you said, and that's why I'm listening to you. I will research the things. If anything, it could, what you're doing, I think is helpful, even if you support Donald Trump or don't support him, because you're saying things to make people look at things, which is a good thing. So
I
good for
agree.
you.
I am. I'm going to read you something real quick, okay?
Sure.
It's something that I've been quoting probably like twice a week lately because I really like it. I'm assuming you know who Teddy Roosevelt is, right?
Right.
Okay, I'm gonna read a quote from Teddy Roosevelt, okay, which was one of our better presidents that we've had in this country. Okay, and I'm gonna read it because it goes back to your comment about respecting the president. All right, and I think this is an excellent one. Okay, it says the president is merely the most important. Oh, actually, let me move it over here so I can kind of read it a little better. Okay. It says the president is merely the most important among a large number of public servants. He should be supported or opposed exactly to the degree which is warranted by his good conduct or bad conduct. His efficiency or inefficiency in rendering loyal, able, and disinterested service to the nation as a whole. As a whole. Therefore, it is absolutely necessary there should be full liberty to tell the truth about his acts. And this means that it is exactly necessary to blame him when he does wrong as to praise him when he does right. Any other attitude in an American citizen is both base and servile. To announce that there must be no criticism of the president or that we are to stand by the president, right or wrong, is not only unpatriotic and servile, but is morally treasonable to the American public. Nothing but the truth should be spoken about him or anyone else. But this is even more important to tell the truth, pleasant or unpleasant, about him than anyone else. Okay? Teddy Roosevelt understood very, very clearly that the president is a public servant.
Absolutely,
okay?
I agree with
and
that.
that criticizing public servants when they are not doing what's right for the United States is the most patriotic thing that you can do. Okay.
I agree.
And
you know what? I'm glad you said that, and I do agree with you with that.
okay, cool. Then see, look, we came together and agreed on
See,
something. Isn't that
we
important?
absolutely
Isn't that
did.
great?
Yes, it is.
All right.
But you know what? I really do enjoy your live, and thank you. And I'm sorry if your listeners, some of your listeners, with their sarcastic remarks, but I'm glad that I got on with you, and I will. I enjoy watching you.
All right. Well, I appreciate that. You have a good day. All right.
You too.
All right.
All right.
All right. Y'all, please make sure you hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We're gonna keep this thing going for another second, I think. Yeah, I mean, if we got another guest or two to get to, we'll keep this thing going for a second. Jimmy, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Said, if you don't make dollars, don't make sense. Hell yeah. John, thank you so much for the $2. Gorilla says, nah, Polly. It's more like if a cop sees a person they think is suspicious, so they light them up, and only after lighting them up, they find drugs. That Gorilla is on fire with the super chats today, by the way. Gorilla is on fire with the super chats today. Absolutely good. Another W's in the chat for Gorilla. Absolutely getting after these super chats today. Great stuff. Thank you so much, Gorilla. Jeffrey said it's called Their Laws. She crashed out. Yeah, exactly. Caller wants to see the host's manager. Ari. She wants to talk to you. Thank you so much, Betty. Jimmy asked me what kind of glasses these are. I get these on Zenny, actually. Funny enough. Chewy said Karen said the left is always angry. She screamed. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. May says you prove her wrong about and 2020 and pivot. Yeah, there was lots of pivots there. Another shift you just did again, Manny. Thank you so much. And Ki Blue says he's been chanting anti-Semitism this entire time. This person, and using the Lord's name in hate. Jesus loved all the men, including the Israelites. Wait, what? Is this some person in the chat or something? This might be some person in the chat. Do you want to take care of that? If someone's doing anti-Semitic stuff in the chat, I don't believe that. I think Corey's in there, so Corey should be able to handle that. Thank you so much for the super chats. I really appreciate that. Y'all, again, make sure you hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We're gonna keep this thing going for a little bit. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, again, if you'd like to support the live, I do have super chats up. I like to throw those up in between calls and have a little fun with those. So I really, really appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. And also, please consider becoming a member or a super fan. That is a great way to support the live also. Also, I put up this gift goal for Coral at the beginning of my live 2.5 hours ago for 5 Coral and haven't hit it somehow. I don't even know how that's possible. All right. 5 Coral 2.5 hours ago. That's crazy, yo. That is wild. Tati, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm just saying, that's a minute, man. That's a minute. I was like, damn. Can you hit one every 2.5 hours? All right. All right, all these people are going. I'm gonna open up the phone lines. I tried to pull up a few people over on this side, but I'll open up the phone lines. Keep this thing going. Hello, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you today? I already asked you that. How old are you?
I'm 38.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Of course I do.
Awesome. What's on your mind?
So, a while ago when you was talking about the boats.
Yep.
So, you agree that drugs should be allowed into this country?
No.
Okay, well then, how do you think you should go about it?
Bro. Why that is like the biggest straw man like that I've ever heard, right? It's a crazy huge straw man to think that because I don't want people killed 2,000 miles away from the US border because of a suspicion of a crime that I somehow want drugs in the country. It's such a crazy thought to put those two things together. Okay? I don't want people killed 2,000 miles away from the border for a suspicion of a crime.
Okay, so why don't you worry about the illegal immigrants that are here in America killing people?
I do. I also care about American citizens in this country killing people. Why don't you?
Oh, I do.
Oh. So you believe that we should have better gun rights in this country or better gun laws in this country?
No, I don't.
So you don't care about
American.
American. So you don't care about American citizens being killed in this country.
Oh, yes, I do. But I think we need to worry about mental health before we worry about some gun laws.
Gotcha. Do you think other countries' mental health is worse than the United States?
No, this is the worst country in the whole world with mental health.
Actually, that's not true.
Okay, prove it to me then.
Yeah, if you actually look at the statistics across the comparison, our rates of different type of mental health disorders is about even with other countries of, other industrialized countries on this planet. Yeah.
Okay. You got proof behind that though?
Yeah, the World Health Organization releases stats on that consistently. Yeah. The difference is that all those other countries, all the other industrialized countries, don't have near the homicide rate that we do. Do you know why?
Oh, because they have gun laws.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah,
you got there.
This is America. That's different. This is America. That's those countries.
Gotcha. So again, you're okay with American citizens committing violent acts on a mass level in this country. Because this is America. Because this is America.
Yeah.
I thought this was America.
You're damn right, it's America. Yeah. There's an amendment for that.
Yeah, there is.
So you think the Second Amendment isn't worth shit, right?
What do you mean isn't worth shit?
Well, I mean, you're sitting here saying that we need to change gun laws.
Yeah, the Second Amendment doesn't say we can't have gun laws. And actually, DC versus Heller in the United States also says that we can have gun laws. So the Second Amendment doesn't say anything about that. I said we should have stricter gun laws in this country to reduce
what kind of
mass
gun laws
crime.
do you think we should have?
I think that we need a lot of different shifts in gun laws, including things like universal background checks, red flag laws. I think that we need restrictions on the type of weapons that can be purchased. I think we need a raise in the age for certain type of weapons purchased. I think that we need specific training classes. I think we need better mental health diagnoses and the ability to take away weapons from people that do not meet those health requirements. Those mental health. Yeah, I didn't say. I didn't.
You actually said it.
Yeah, but other countries, sir, already just do that.
We're not talking about other countries. We're talking about America.
Yes, sir. But the problem is that here
you're debating things here in America, not other countries.
Sir, I'm not arguing that that mental health people with bad mental health issues shouldn't be restricted from guns. I'm arguing that we don't do that here. that would be a stricter gun law.
Okay, so you're not saying that, hey, we need to make AR-15s illegal, or are you
I
saying that?
I definitely think we should have an assault rifle ban similar to the one we had in the 90s. But more importantly, I think that we just need to be more restrictive.
Well, the way I look at it is, I don't think we should have any kind of ban on any kind of guns.
We already do.
Which guns?
Well, you need a special license in order to have an automatic weapon in this country.
Well, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like AR-15s. That's all I hear the left screaming is we need to ban AR-15s.
Oh, gotcha. So you just don't want to ban on AR-15s, but you're okay with restrictions on other guns.
No, I'm not. I'm not okay with restrictions on any kind.
But
of
we
gun.
already have those, and you don't have a problem with it, right?
I mean, it's been a law for a long time.
It actually hasn't been a law for that long, to be completely honest with you.
The left, I tell you, you guys are so just intolerable.
I'm intolerable because I want children to, the number one cause of preventable death in children, to not be gun violence.
I didn't say that. You're putting words in my mouth now.
Well, that's what I'm advocating for right now, sir. I am currently advocating, all right, for us to stop having mass shootings, for children to stop getting killed, and you're saying that makes me intolerable.
No, I'm saying you all are intolerable just in general.
Oh, gotcha. Well, sir, if wanting children to be able to live without the risk of being shot every time they go to school makes me intolerable, then I'm very happily intolerable, sir.
I didn't say that. That's you putting words in my mouth.
Oh, okay.
I didn't say that whatsoever.
Apparently, facts are intolerable. Maybe I should use logic instead.
No. But yes, I support Donald Trump because he is the best sitting American president that America has seen in a long time.
He's the only sitting president.
No shit. I'm just saying he is the best that we've had in a long time.
How?
In a lot of different ways. He puts America first.
How?
Do you not watch the news?
No, I actually don't.
Well, then maybe you should. Maybe you should turn on a.
Why would I? Why do I need?
News.
Why do I need someone else to tell me how to feel about things?
So you are informed.
I am informed. I just don't sit there and let other
If you
people.
don't watch the news.
Let me ask you a question. How is giving $20 billion to Argentina America first?
It's just a bailout. That's all that was.
Sweet. How is bailing out Argentina America first?
How? I mean, every president does this.
Sir, we're not talking about every president. You're saying that Donald Trump is the best because he's America first. So I'm asking you how Donald Trump's action is America first.
Well, have you noticed how he has been bringing a lot of business to America? $1 trillion from Apple. He's bringing a lot of businesses back to America.
He is not. Jobs are down. Jobs are down. Unemployment is up.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. We're at the highest unemployment rate since the shutdown for COVID.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Quit watching CNN, man.
I don't watch the news.
Quit being a liberal and
I'm also not a liberal.
Right, yeah, you are. Yeah,
no, I'm not.
Yeah, you are, man.
You got me.
But yes, if you don't think that Donald Trump is America first, well then you got some real issues, man.
I do appreciate how you are just refusing to tell me how bailing out Argentina is America first.
I mean, presidents do it all the time. Just like Obama bailing out every damn bank in America.
Let me ask you a question. Okay. Let me ask you a question. Okay. Have you heard about what's going on in the Middle East?
In the Middle East?
Israel, Palestine, Gaza.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. So let me ask you, so in Donald Trump's new plan, okay, to try to, work the stuff in that region, okay, it creates an advisory board on the Middle East to specifically deal with Gaza and the surrounding areas, okay? And in his own plan, okay, I'm trying to drop this down and make it as basic as I can for you. In his own plan, he becomes the head of the board, all right, to deal with Gaza and the Middle East. Can you please explain to me how that's America first?
How that's America first?
Yeah, how Donald Trump being a head of a board that's entire concentration is the Middle East. How is that America first?
Because it's our biggest ally.
Gaza is
And it
our
also
biggest
said-
ally?
No, Israel is.
This has nothing. This isn't Israel, sir. It's going to be dealing with the areas outside of Israel.
I just didn't hear your entire what you asked
Yeah.
me. Then.
How is Donald Trump being on a board, okay, that deals with the reconstruction of the Middle East, heading the board? How is that America first?
I mean, what's wrong with rebuilding up another country?
Sure, I did not say that it was wrong or it was right. I'm asking how it's America first.
I'm sure we get something out of it.
So you're just 100% okay with just like, you're just like, it doesn't bother you at all to be like, Donald Trump is America first. And then when I start naming off all these things that are obviously not America first, you just are going to ignore those and just, like pretend like I didn't say them.
Okay, well, let me ask you this.
Sure.
So you don't think there's anything in his agenda that is America first?
In his agenda or in his policy?
Either.
Well, in his policy, no. In his agenda, possibly, but those are usually just lies. So
Yeah, because you're brainwashed.
no, they're lies because he says them and then does the opposite.
Yeah, because you go upon what the left has to say and the brainwashed bullshit that they portray.
Nope, I go off of Donald Trump's bills and executive orders and policy that he passes. See, what I do is I listen to what comes out of Donald Trump's mouth, okay? Because he says things, and then I look to see if the policy matches that or does what it says. Okay?
So you don't think he's done anything he said he was going to do?
Yeah, he's done some things he said he was going to do. Yeah,
Yeah,
he said he was going to do sweeping tariffs. He did sweeping tariffs. Those are bad for America. They're not America first.
No, it's not.
Yes, they are.
No, it's not.
Yes, they are.
No, it's not.
All right, how are they good?
Because it gets us money from these other countries that have not been paying while we've been paying fucking shit tons of money out.
Yeah, sir. Who pays a tariff?
Companies.
Huh?
Companies that ship goods.
Incorrect.
No,
It's
I am
companies.
correct.
It's companies that receive goods. Importers pay tariffs.
No, that's not correct.
It is correct, sir. Okay.
Okay, so you're telling me that companies that send product into America do not pay anything on tariff.
Correct. Companies that receive things from those companies do.
I don't believe that.
Sir, your belief doesn't change it.
Because
Okay.
I used to have a business to where I didn't have to pay any kind of tariff whenever I would receive goods from China.
Okay. That was probably a time when there wasn't a tariff for that.
Oh yeah, there was.
Well, then you paid it, or somebody paid it as an intermediary for you.
Okay, so I didn't pay for it, so that tells me that your claim is wrong.
Sir, I don't know what you're talking about, what business you had or how the structure of your business is. Literally, a tariff is an import tax. That's what it is. That is the definition of it. Okay? That is the literal definition of what a tariff is. Okay? That is what it is. Okay? Like if Samsung makes a phone in China, okay, and Verizon wants to sell that phone, okay, and they need to get those from China, then Verizon pays the tariff on that phone.
So
Okay.
let me ask you this: what do you think about Charlie Kirk?
He's not with us anymore.
I understand that, but what's your opinion on him?
I don't have an opinion on him.
Why not?
Why do I need to have an opinion on him?
The rest of America does. Why not? Oh, okay. I understand. You're afraid of losing a job or something if you say the wrong thing. Okay, I understand.
No, I have no problem with it. Do you want my general opinion on him as a person or on his opinion on his assassination? What do you want?
Just a person.
Oh, he was a pretty shitty person. Okay.
Why
But
do
I
you
don't
say
like to
he's a
really
shitty
talk
person?
about it because I don't like talking bad about people that are dead.
I mean, why do you think he's a shitty person, though?
Well, sir, if you want that, you can actually go back to my videos where I talked about him while he was alive. Yeah. I did not mix words about what I thought about Charlie Kirk while he was alive. I actually very much would have liked to have debated him and to gone away with him. I'm pretty sure I would have walked him like really, really hard.
No, you would have lost.
I would not have. He got walked by undergrads, dude. He absolutely got dog walked by undergrads at community colleges.
I've seen every video that man has ever created.
If you did, then
And
you
he-
would know that what I said was true. Okay,
No,
because
he
it doesn't
never
take
got- he
it
never
doesn't
got
take
mobbed.
it doesn't take 2 seconds to find a video of that. All right, but I do not concentrate myself on Charlie Kirk. To be completely honest with you, he just wasn't that any type of significant part of my life or anything that's happening with me.
Yeah, well, he was an amazing person.
He was not.
Yeah, he was.
He was not.
You're just a leftist, hateful human being, is all.
No, I'm not.
I guess we'll agree to disagree on that.
All right.
But anyways, it was nice talking to you.
All right, man. Well, have a good one.
Yep. You too, man.
Are you changing anything for me? Taro, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Y'all, please make sure that you guys hit that follow button or that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really, really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. We do this every single day but Fridays. What time is it? I really should get off. I should probably just get offline. I've been on for a while. I don't know. Should we do one more? You know, make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you'd like to support the live, I do have all of my pay links in my bio, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Also, I have super chats open, so if you'd like to throw a super chat out there, say something. I like to talk about those in between callers. Also, please consider becoming a member or gifting memberships. I appreciate that. We'll do one more. Taro, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Said, recently found you. Love what you do. Stay lovely, comrades. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. All right, let's open this thing up one more time. Sorry, I am like baking up in my office. Goodness gracious. Oh no, I just hit the wrong thing. What did I just do? I clicked on something. Oopsie. Sorry, people were calling and I accidentally left the spot. Why is it not ringing? Sorry, I can see the missed calls coming through, but it's not ringing on my phone. It must be on me. Feisty, thank you so much for the 5 gifted memberships. I really, really appreciate that. Big W's in the chat for Feisty for the 5 gifted. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Big W's in the chat for Feisty. Extra big W's if you received one of those from Feisty. Even more than that. Thank you guys so much.
Big W's for fight. Why is the phone not ringing? I'm seeing the missed calls come through. All right, my phone might be broken. I might have to stop. Oh my goodness. Why is it not? I see the calls. It's not ringing. There it goes. Hello?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going great. How about yourself?
You about to shut it down? I'm doing good. You about to shut it down?
If I was about to shut down, I wouldn't have answered the phone.
Okay, well, I don't know if you're shutting it down right now or about to shut it down.
I might shut down after you, depending on how this goes.
Oh, it'll go fine. It'll go fine.
All right, well, we'll see about that.
I do appreciate your calm and peaceful exchange. But I do have a question. And maybe I missed it. You might have. How do you define a assault weapon or assault rifle? How do you define that?
I forgot the exact definition of it by ATF. I could pull it up if I really needed to. But if you're getting into the argument about what's an assault rifle, what's not, and what's the definition of it, and how there's other rifles in like in that same class, and how do you differentiate those, which is pretty much the only way that this conversation goes after asking that question. I think it's a kind of a pointless conversation.
No, yeah, right. There's two definitions. ATF, you're correct about that. And there's also the military definition.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sure there is. Yeah.
Both of them definitely imply fully automatic capability, for one thing.
Well, then maybe we should redefine it.
And then, okay, well, maybe we can look at it, but right now the definition is what it is.
And right now we lead the world in gun violence.
Okay, we're getting back to you want to ban a certain you want to ban assault rifles, but we think we need to define them first.
Well, we had an assault weapons ban. I said it was going to be like the one in the 90s. Are you familiar with that?
Well, we have a feature of a weapon called fully automatic that is banned.
There was an assault weapons ban under the Clinton administration that already happened.
And it's still in effect?
No, it was taken out of effect.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
and as soon as
it.
it did, mass shootings rose significantly in this country by like 30 or 40%.
Okay, how about this? Are you okay with semi-automatic weapons?
Any? Sure.
And you're okay with now? You understand the folding stock and then the mount for.
Oh yeah, it was 170%. What was I saying? 40%. It was 170% that it rose. That was my bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sir, let me just be very clear. And I'm going to give my stance here because it's a very simple stance. And people want to get into like this little like, oh, well, like, what do we define it as? And what do we do this way? And what do we do that way? And all this. Sir, we already know what to do. We already know the correct answers. You know how we know the correct answers? Because every other industrialized first world country on this planet has already done it. Every single one of those countries has already tested different variations of different weapons, different bans, different laws, different qualifications, different ways they use them, different people that can have them. They've done all of that stuff. They've done all of the homework for us. Okay, and we see that all of those other countries. Okay, we have more mass shootings in this country. Okay, in a matter of a few months than all of those countries combined have had in the last decade. Okay, like if you took all other 32 countries, combined all their mass shootings all together for the last decade, put them together, we've had more than that this year, I believe. Like this calendar year, over the last 10 months. Okay, it is ridiculous that we are at a point in this country, okay, where we can't look at that, all right, and go, maybe we need to make a change. Okay, maybe we're doing the wrong thing. Okay, and until we get to the point where it's,
I think we have two things. I think United States has two things that those countries you're speaking of don't have. One of them is Second Amendment, and the second one is a behavioral problem.
No, all those countries also have behavioral problems. I've been to most of them. Okay, they have a lot of behavioral problems. They have lots of mental health issues, just like ours. Okay, but let's also remember that the Second Amendment, first of all, protects your right to militia. Okay, not to weapons. Second of all,
the Second Amendment has already been interpreted by very conservative justices to show that you can make restrictions on guns. Okay. And that's not against the Second Amendment. And third of all, it's exactly what it is. It's an amendment. It was something that was added to the Constitution later. Okay. Do you know what else was added to the Constitution later?
That's not accurate.
That is accurate. It's in the name. It's an amendment, sir. It's
the Bill of Rights was a clarification. As a matter of fact, Madison didn't even want the Bill of Rights. Everything was pretty much spelled out. But some people wanted certain things enumerated under the Bill of Rights. There was basically clarification of what was already written.
It wasn't like an amendment, sir. It is an amendment. The literal definition of the word amendment, okay, is a change to.
It was nothing new, though. You're making it sound like it's something new and apart.
Was it in the original Constitution?
Yes, it was. It was
no, it was not. It was added later.
It was a clarification. The Bill of Rights was a clarification of things that were already discussed, and they wanted it, and some of them wanted it enumerated, like the Fourth Amendment, and the First Amendment, things like that. Those weren't new. Was the Fifth Amendment new? No.
Yes,
it wasn't new.
They were all added later. All of them were added later. All of the amendments were added later. We could add an amendment right now. We could take away amendment right now. We can do that right now.
We're talking about, right? These weren't added like in the 1860s.
I didn't say when they were added. I said they were added later.
Well, okay. Tell me how much later?
Sir, I don't care if it was 10 minutes later.
No, 10 minutes.
Okay, I literally don't care if it was 34 seconds later. It was not part of the original document. It was added later.
It was in the discussions that led up to the document, and certain people wanted enumerated.
So was how much is a slave worth?
So we have a disagreement on that.
Well, we don't have a disagreement on that. That's literally what they were discussing, is how much a slave was worth. Okay? Those are actual things that were actually being discussed, sir. Maybe, okay, if we're basing our entire ideology off a law that was written by people at the time when those people were trying to discuss how they own other people, okay, then maybe we should reconsider that law every once in a while, especially when that law is literally killing American citizens to this day. Okay, it is very, very dumb. It is very, very dumb. It's very, very dumb to say, hey, some guys wrote some shit a couple hundred years ago that is currently killing our children, but hey, they wrote it, so let's just, I guess, leave it there.
And there's a mechanism for that. Get yourself a constitutional convention.
Yeah, we've already had constitutional conventions, but what we've also had is the Supreme Court rule that the Second Amendment does not stop the restriction of firearms in this country. DC versus Heller, if you're familiar.
Well, exactly, and I'm not against that. I'm not against restrictions.
Well, that's what I'm asking for.
Like but okay, well, I'm just saying that if you just throw out terms like broad terms like assault rifles and you don't define them,
they are defined.
You know? Right.
Okay.
So then,
we've already had an assault weapons ban in this country, and we've already had an assault weapons ban in this country, and it fucking worked.
So by definition, you're okay with assault rifles,
sir. You know what I'm not okay with? You know what I'm not okay with?
What's that?
Yeah, people defending the Second Amendment in place of defending the lives of children. That's what I'm not okay with. Okay. That is my issue. There are currently two sides. There is currently two sides of the argument. Okay, there is your side, which is defending a misinterpretation of the Second Amendment. Because let's also be very clear: the way that you believe the Second Amendment, that didn't happen until like the 1960s, 1970s. Was that interpretation throughout the history of the United States? We never interpreted it like that, where just anybody should be able to have the right to bear arms. That was never interpreted that way until like the 1960s, 1970s. Okay, that is a new thing over the last 50 years. And for the majority of the history of this country, it was not interpreted like that. Okay, it was not. All right. But there are two sides of this argument. There's the side of the Second Amendment purist argument, which is what you're arguing, and the part of that I'm arguing, which is the safety of children. Okay. And your right to own a piece of a weapon does not go over the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. okay, which is being infringed on by the inability to be able to regulate weapons in this country.
Well,
Okay,
I'm a firm believer that people
you
kill
can get
people.
into.
I don't believe that guns kill. I don't believe guns kill people. I believe people kill people.
Okay, well, the countries that don't have guns in their countries to the way that we do, people don't kill people nearly as much.
So where does this stop?
Huh?
What about knives? What about knives? What about
Yeah,
what about
in the
big
UK
knives?
they
I mean,
banned
what about
guns,
machetes?
and they had a rise in knife crime. Okay.
So you're okay
Hold
with
on,
some death?
hold
then?
on,
As long as
hold
it's-
on,
You're okay with
hold
some, as long
on,
as it's done by a
hold
knife
on.
or
No,
an
see,
axe
you're trying to
or a-
talk fast because you don't
or-
want me to say the
or
next
machete.
part.
No, I'm just you
Yeah,
seem to
the next
justify
part
some,
is
as long as
that
it's
the
a
United
lower
States
number.
still has a knife crime rate higher than the UK.
Wait,
They-
what's that?
The UK still has a lower knife crime rate than the United States knife crime rate. Okay, so
we
they
should get
have
rid of knives
they
then, right?
have
Knives are a
they
problem
have
then.
almost none of the gun deaths and only a little bit of the knife deaths.
You want to get rid of knives?
Sir, knives, you can't if a deranged person wants to roll into a Walmart with a knife and start killing people, they can do that. They got one, maybe two people that they're going to hit before they get taken the fuck out. That same
the
deranged
numbers,
person,
you're okay
that
with
same
some then.
deranged
So-
person, that same deranged person in this country can walk in there with an AR-15 and gun down 20 people before anybody has the chance to react. Why do you not see the
What I'm
difference in
getting at
between those
then-
two things?
What I'm getting at then, you're okay if someone, it's the number that you have a problem with. You're okay with some deaths.
I'm not
Some
okay
deaths are
with
fine
any
with you.
deaths, but if we can reduce them, we should. What are you
Well,
talking
you can
about?
definitely-
Are
you
you
can-
are you
well, you can
making the
ban-
argument that since we can't ban all murder, that we shouldn't fucking be able to limit the amount that's able to happen?
Well, I'm understand your logic. I mean, there's a certain amount that is acceptable.
No, there is a certain amount that
In your world?
there's a certain amount that I can't stop. But there's a difference. Like, I'll give you an example. Okay, seatbelts help people not die in car accidents. Okay.
Well,
Does
see,
it? Does
there's a
hold on?
different-
Hold
there's a
on?
different
Hold on?
purpose.
Hold on?
Well, the
Hold on?
purpose of
No,
a
I'm not
seatbelt is
finished.
different.
I'm not finished.
There's no such
I'm
thing
not
as an assault seatbelt.
finished. I'm not finished.
You got to get to the purpose. You can't use seatbelts. They have
You didn't even let me get to the point of my argument yet. You won't even let me get there.
Okay, go ahead with
Yeah,
your assault seatbelt.
yeah.
argument.
Seatbelts help people survive car accidents. Okay, because we have seatbelt laws, lots and lots of people don't die in car accidents every single year. Okay, does it stop everyone from dying in a car accident? No. So should we just get rid of seatbelt laws because it doesn't stop every car accident death?
Well, you got a logical fallacy going on because seatbelts, by definition of what their intended use, you can't walk into a Walmart with a seatbelt. Well, maybe you could. You could probably strangle some people, but anyway, you'd get it off the car first. But anyway, we're talking about killing people, like you walking in and just assaulting people with either a gun, a knife, a sledgehammer, an axe, all kinds of things, and you're going after the low-hanging fruit because it's an easy argument for you. But your logic is there's a certain amount that is acceptable. You're willing to.
That is not my argument. That's not even near my argument. And I've actually proven that wasn't my argument. Why are you trying so hard to make that my argument?
Well, you said
no. You have said
there's
that's my
certain numbers, they're
argument
lower,
5
the
times.
lower.
You have said that that's my argument
had a
5
problem with a
times.
higher number.
Not only did I show that that wasn't my argument, I gave you an entire hypothetical and a whole story to show that that wasn't my argument. But yet you're still saying it's my argument. Is that because you need it to be my argument for your
didn't
argument
you say
to work?
You had a problem with the numbers. You had a problem with the numbers.
What? I have a
That was
problem
your
with children dying at an incredibly
By a knife?
high rate. I have a problem
See?
with the
Incredibly high
highest
rate.
preventable death. Okay? I have a problem with the literal highest, the number one cause of preventable death in children in the United States being gun violence.
You mean gun fire? I've never known a gun to just kill people. I've been around guns my whole life. No gun has ever jumped out of my closet and took a shot at
All
me.
right, sir.
They're inanimate objects.
Apparently, so is your soul.
Okay. I was waiting for the first dig. That's it. I have not insulted you. Anyway, you have a good day for discussing yourself and insulting each other. Take care. Peace.
goodness fucking gracious. I don't know how to make myself any more clear. Y'all, please make sure you hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Kayla, thank you so much for the $5 over on Venmo. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. It said the way they will twist themselves into pretzels to defend their needs for a firearm as opposed to the lives of children is absolutely just insane. I agree, Kayla. Thank you so much. Big W's in chat for Kayla. Big W's in chat for Kayla. Search, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. I appreciate that. 77, thank you so much for another $5. Oh, the super sticker too, with the cool sticker. Thank you so much for the $5 super sticker. I really appreciate that also. And Taro says, I don't want to be tone police because I recently found out dumb and lame are ableist slurs terms. Working on changing my behavior. I've never heard that. And I'll be honest with you, it's going to take a lot more than that for me to stop using lame because I love lame. Lame's a great word. Lame. If someone corrects me, you can hit me up in my Discord and correct me. That's fine. I think at this point, like we can't just make every term bad. Okay, I gotta be able to call the MAGA something. All right, I gotta be able to call him something. We can't just get rid of every word I like to call him. Thank you so much, Taro. I appreciate that. And James, thank you so much for the $5. Says Paulie is so smart and factual. You're intolerable. Thank you so much for that, James. I really appreciate that. Thank you. All right, y'all. I am going to end it now. I will be back on tomorrow, hopefully 10 a.m. Central, unless I get too drunk tonight and end up hungover tomorrow. And then I won't be. I probably will be, though. I'll probably be fine. All right, y'all. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Love you guys. Hope you guys have a wonderful one, all right? Thank you guys all so much for the love, the support, and everything. As always, I'll see you guys soon, all right? Bye.